Oh, yeah, oh, is that right? Oh, T.O.Y. Talking up now to a store. Some of us right here. In space, going down the levels lane. With the pilot bag, you won't take a bus or train. Love, fuck the pain. Your ex put you through. Got some information you should look into. Why you looking cute? Who you getting dressed up for? Never being less. What you think we blessed up for? Let me tell you, listen up. Going through the space, Earth got nothing more for me. Nope. Buzz like Jet, tell me Youngstown Toy Story. Nigga link me and you, girl, hope we can mix. I've been in your DM on some freaky shit. You keep blaming your ex, you wouldn't be in this. You keep making fake bitches, girl, who you creeping with? It's your homie, that's all. I be sitting back just hoping I'm wrong. I don't even think we can all get along. Let me get this clear, we need to disappear, yeah. You know that is the fight, yeah. You know I want you right here. Know you like the tight skin. Like I was in your nightmare. It's the fight, I'm very, very far. It's the fight, I'm very, very far. This buzz fight, chill. To infinity and beyond. Yeah, before I hit the scene, I be out. Yeah, got the energy of a god. All penalties to a fraud. All that shit to me don't belong. Yeah, let the past go away. I'm a Leo ass in the rain. Let me tell you. So high, what I read out. Magic wand, lightsaber, nigga, I'm a Jedi. Spirits keep attacking and there ain't no way avoiding it. Stars about to trip and it's seeping through the voyages. Yeah, constellations gonna make a nigga flip, yeah. Humanity gonna make a nigga sick, yeah. My side gonna take a nigga bitch, yeah. Your man asked to say you taking trips, yeah. You know that is the fight, yeah. You know I want you right here. Know you at the tight skin. Like I was in your nightmare. It's the fight, I'm very, very far. It's the fight, I'm very, very far. Let me get on the bar with me right now. Let me get on the bar with me right now. PBS channel. I can't hear me. Oh, PBS. Oh, PBS face. Oh, I got to have a PBS, not the poker, the PBS face. Oh, I said real stuff. I had flashbacks a few eons ago. Real stuff when we was back in the days first creating the little stool club bar stage sessions. I said a little bar, whole little you know what I'm saying, whole little group effort band. I said my like brain went back to a few eons ago before y'all humans was even here. Like for a few seconds, I'm like, oh stuff. Oh, I see what these humans got it from me a few eons ago. Thank you for the donation, Peter. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You say anything you do and giving a new way of approach and this way. Yeah, you know, every day we develop and getting better how to correlate our energies and jump into these energies in different ways and stuff like that. Whether yesterday is negative or positive, whether today is negative or positive, or whether tomorrow is negative or positive. That ain't stop no mission God was having us to do. And once we get to that space, we good. Yeah, it ain't about nothing else. Shout out to Peter, all real stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all, I'm trying to figure out where the hey fight ball, where that video gonna be at, what city or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still contemplating New York, but I gotta think, because I got a cameraman now too and stuff. So it's like, all right, bro, might be about 10,000 videos done just on the way there. Like, I said, that's my work ethic, mind, mentality, circumstance, frequency, synchronicity, energies. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you, I ain't gonna do none of that. You know what I'm saying? No high or no low. We stay in between equilibrium, amorphous status face. I don't know that.
Oh, said Morpheus he just didn't have the right ideas and the right goddamn advice and stuff like that. I would have told Morpheus, the hell with goddamn both of them colorful pills. You know, I real stuff like, I'm like, why we can't stay between worlds? Like we doing just fine right now with all the weapons we need. We could go back to the computer, upload it, or like pineal nut stain brain cells and stuff like that, and learn karate in the next second and stuff. We doing fine right here. Why we ever gotta go and either? You know what I'm saying? With this right here, like we can make an agent stop right now. What's wrong with this world? You know what I'm saying? That's what I start thinking. Like, oh, I gotta start thinking. Like, I start thinking. I'll be way smarter than Morpheus. I'll be like, Morpheus, we can run the whole little game right here. We could create some little computer motherboard system right here with the sunglasses light ray reflection. You know what I'm saying? And then make sure like the agents try to get in between. They get stuck in our world where we control the computer chips and we learn kung fu real fast and we can freeze them. You know what I'm saying? Then Uriel will be in a new matrix. Like when you get fast enough, you won't even have to run from bullets. Then I go beyond that. You won't even have to dodge them. Then I go beyond that. You won't even have to create it in your realm of reality. Oh, you're always taking a step further, bitch. You're always taking a step further. You know what I'm saying? That's how you always got to expand the universe. That was God duties and obligations and responsibilities your funked out smack monkey, PDS was supposed to be used as a vessel for. Oh, I'm saying, it was supposed to be used as a vessel for. What are you doing with your blood veins? Nothing but eradicating them. Man, they don't play out into nothing else but in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimensions. You be nervous, a little fear, a little shaky. Oh, shaky, girl, you ain't sturdy. Oh, I said you ain't got the stir. You ain't got the stir. The only thing sturdy is your jawline and your face. And all that for that. Real stuff. All right, I'm bull crapping. I can't even wait 12 minutes. I got a lot of readers to do. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and run this down real quick. You know what I'm saying? I just missed y'all because I usually go live earlier. So I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Each individual need the catering of Uriel right now. Each energy, like I can't be scattered all over the place and do a person read. Nope. Can't even go live before that. Nope. All that energy is just for them, and I'm going in order. Everybody did it in order, so if you didn't get yours yet, I'm finishing after the live stream. Let me go ahead and run this down real fast. I still got to take care of the whole universe, though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about y'all either, but I'm going real fast. I got to take care of the whole universe real fast. You know what I'm saying? Real fast. So I got pre-recorded, uploaded, replay value. You know what I'm saying? This channel don't delete videos and stuff. This is like fresh, young, monetized channel with green lights next to the world button. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like this channel. I don't think I'm going to delete that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm going to delete that on this channel no time soon. I don't know for that. Real stuff. Back to helping the universe. All right, Lila, check this out, right? All right, because you know what I'm saying? I got to deal with certain energies too. When you're doing readings and stuff like that, you got to deal with others. So, I was got some people energy got me hyped right now. Like, what is this? I want to hit the jackpot too. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to the casino too, hit the lottery sometimes. You know what I'm saying? July 19th or something like that in 2086. You know what I'm saying? But I seen it there, though. I was like, oh, I want that line of reasoning. I want that path. You know what I'm saying? I might not see it in this lifetime, but this got me excited. You know what I'm saying? About other knowledges and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real. I don't really go no further than that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, loose screwdriver brain. And all that. That screwdriver you don't use for your loose screws. Pete Gay. Now look, check this out. We got the sun in Gemini, and it's a main attraction right now. And to be more specific, we got the sun in Aldebaran right now, Aldebaran, or everywhere you even want to call it. You know what I'm saying? You old smack monkey, because you want to get lost in semantics and words. Really don't matter. Just talking about the sun position when it's far east and when it's in its farthest position, and because they always categorize things. So everything got a north. Everything got, even if it's something east, they make a north compared to east, aka when east, or when the sun rise, quote unquote, and it's get ready to go to Taurus, its fixed portion, the few degrees or the nakshatra or asterism or concepts in the last degrees of Aries, that will be considered a minor exaltation or a minor noon in an area that ain't noon. You see what I'm saying? Like they be creating smaller versions of something just to understand how the broader version of something is playing out. And then sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong, or we wouldn't have to put no satellites in space. I say create our own spaceship veil system beneath the Holy Grail and stuff. I say we don't have to like go rock to get blind and get rocked to sleep and stuff like that, and your whole work check go towards getting a passport because somebody taught you was from Africa or India. I say some stupid stuff like that. Some stupid stuff like, say you gotta really think though. If you really think you could save all that energy. The energy. So the main attraction right now is going to be the sun in Gemini. So as far as that northern noon time for spring as a whole, that will be any time that we get into Gemini. So for the most part, in Vedic sidereal, that would be 15, around 14, 15, 16 degrees of Taurus, in Western, since you flunked out over here, it's going to be around 9, 8 degrees. It moved from 8 degrees since the year 2000, because the year 2000 pierced the moment of the fixed stars moving 1 or 2 degrees. And then based upon that year 2000 to 2012, that was the whole shift they utilized, and they filtered themselves through the aspect of Saturn in Libra as an exaltation to end the event as a firecracker during the year 2012. And then that's when y'all actually seen what the internet was being built up for start to be utilized to a large magnitude once we have all got subdued it into all the conveniences that it could prosper on crumb levels. So for the most part, that's why some of the first movies that was even the most popular online and such as websites like YouTube was things like Cloverfield, Blair Witch Project. You know what I'm saying? But they're very two different movies. But what do they have in common behind them being scary movies and them trying to rock y'all minds to sleep to scare y'all based upon what they're going to present in the future on the news to put us in fear tactics and things to react or respond anytime it's election season? What else do these two movies got in common? People recording from their own first-person video game platforming. They do it in all entertainment, business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, and train our mind for the new subsidiaries they're going to come out with that could become blockbuster hits, or these new movies and things of that nature. So they do it with these new platform and video games too, almost to the point that it don't matter what video game that you play, it seems like you playing the same game. It's just one of them got a gun, one of them got a sword, one of them got a Jedi stick, one of them, and one of them probably flunked out and you can't use weapons, and one of them you probably an animal. But they all platforming 3D and broad world and lostness and not no enjoyable aspect of a game anymore. So for the most part, that also got you lost into the circumstances that they got right now is based on first-person shooter or having so much convenience where it's not fun having a 4-player video game when someone has a multi-tap, or you have a Nintendo 64 or a Dreamcast with already the 4 controllers. They made it more convenient for you to rock your parents to sleep to pay for some subscription plan so you can still play online and have imaginary friends all the way down to your real friends from the convenience of your home, still being isolated and alone, while not thinking that's what's actually the plan for future purposes to do that on broader levels. Because right now you think it make more sense anyway to be isolated alone because you can go online and kick ass. So for the most part, it puts you in a situation where all these conveniences blind you so much you may not know where to start at, even when it becomes to starting to find your own purpose, to the point your purpose becomes these things that you allowed the world to make you out of, and you didn't make the world out of something, because we're here to change. Don't ever think the universe is something like what other people explain it, like it's a god outside of you. The universe is a different concept of united thought forms. So all of us together, thoughts and feelings as a collection for us to relate to each other, is the universe. When it's unbalanced is when you have a large portion of individuals who already got familiar things for us to relate, which turn into me and you having to compete to jump into business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. So for the most part, anytime you want to do something separate from what's already familiar that Walt Disney and Indoctrination have brought up, you're going against the universe. The moment you separate that concept of the universe from how I'm explaining it, you're basically a Christian with rose-colored glasses on, and you think you're not a Christian anymore, but you're utilizing the same Western indoctrination. So you have to understand what these things mean in context. So when you're not participating, whether you're doing something positive or negative, the universe is not a respecter of persons. So whoever got the most intellectual property to come together as a team, right, things going to go in their favor. Same way you go get a job and everything, and the police force and fire force and all these things work in the shadow government favor. And they have y'all doing what they want y'all to do, whether you think you're doing it or not, based upon presenting certain things for you to go about getting crumbs for yourself. based on narratives and characteristics of people who have came before you, so they know how to deal with you because you're probably doing it in a more foolish way. Just based upon surviving, and your geographical location is wrapped up in these rituals and spells that's laid throughout the Bible to help you persevere if you're doing it specifically their way, that only leads to them only getting the whole loaf and you getting the crumbs as a general bias of it, even if it is worked and even if it does work in small subsidiary areas where grandma is still able to feel good about herself. But at the same time, you need to understand what's going on. And when you put yourself in that perspective for yourself, you'll understand the universe ain't really never with you. If you got an idea that don't cling on to something that team that made the whole world work together as a dream work makes the team work. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So it don't matter how good at that actual talent that you're trying to do. If you're not participating in it the same way that they have created it, then you're going to think the universe is against you, and you're going to think people got it easy in that area. And you might think they're not as wise as you. But see, when you become a spiritual person, you become aware of these things. And that's when you become aware of the universe is actually against spiritual people. See what I'm saying? Because the universe is a collection of individuals, all of us. But if we got a large portion of the world catering to their desires and egotistic and narcissistic energy, then that's the universe you in. Anytime you do anything opposite, I don't care if you a preacher right now, I'm explaining to you why your ministries ain't taking off on YouTube right now. You know what I'm saying? And you probably somewhere hating on Joel Osteen or something like that. It ain't got nothing to do with what y'all talking about. It's how y'all talking about it. And Joel Osteen probably went through the right subsidiary, right college degree, the right reputation, the right curriculum, the right people to back him for him to be in that position that all look like some Jewish subsidiary familiar fart cloud that we call peer pressure. And just because you want to look in the Bible and claim you see things in it that the Pope ain't seen, you can only go as far as that corner church or that street preacher or that YouTuber who preaching your Christianity, but you're going to be the reprobate or the Satan spirit that they're talking about in general because you're opposite from the church from their perspective. So you actually are practicing somebody else's thing that they're doing it harder than you, but you think you got your own version of it, yet you're going to speak for someone else being aware of something before you that's actually part of their ancestors, the Jews. So you got to make up your mind what you're going to be lost in some way, shape, or form if you're going to maintain any form of security mentally, emotionally, and physically down here. You see what I'm saying? Now, so Saturn right now being in Pisces, they're utilizing all kind of devices, all kind of technology, in different subsidiary versions of Walt Disney. So it may not necessarily be Walt Disney, but someone down his family line, maybe got a different last name or whatever like that. But at the same time, they're getting more crafty. So when it was more convenient on the black and white TV screen for your grandmother or the newspaper for your parents, or the liquor store ads and TV screen commercials for your aunties and your uncles, or the little clubs and the bars or you go to, or the little social media or dating apps that you're distracted with, right? That certain apps that's flashing on your awareness, even if you didn't ask for it. They utilize these things right now in a more crafty way in that subsidiary to get you rocked to sleep. And all they have to do is rock you to sleep by utilizing things that attack your desires. And based upon how extreme you're willing to give your blood, sweat, and tears for these desires, you give them the correspondence of their categorizing witchcrafting appearing to work, aka these are low-hanging fruits, and it don't matter how positive we appear to shape and form their desire, they're willing to still give their blood, sweat, and tears, get into competition, and be cutthroat business-wise when it comes to individuals who look just like them because we're only giving them crumbs, yet they fail to realize to go outside themselves to understand how we're encapsulating these words, spells, and rituals and energies and what times to do it in the first place. And you can say I'm pseudo all you want, but it would be no such thing as the concept of a holiday. And then you don't even know. I'm just breaking things down in detail, basically. The outcome is, that's like the outcome, the afterbirths of something. Things like holidays, things like culture, things like literature. I just be trying to put y'all in mind in that actual state that the average human don't necessarily like to waste their time to think that ain't the time. That ain't wasting your time in your mind thinking about stuff like that. Especially if you're trying to be somebody. A lot of times that ain't even got nothing to do with what you actually do. It got something to do with what energy you participate in. You can participate in a certain energy, and it don't matter what you do. The energy you participate in create blockages for you. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to, I'm from the hood, so I like to make it simple for everybody, even who ain't from the hood, that get wet. Like suburb people ears get wet. You could do a lot of things to go to jail, right? And whatever happened, that last little session you was in jail that you still there, you might have went to jail so many times that you're familiar. So, you know, the COs and stuff like that, almost like family. They know your first, last name, they know your family, and you damn near know theirs and stuff like that because you go to jail so many times. But let's say, okay, now you in that energy, but you reach a certain jail period that you in there right now, and in your mind, you like, this is my last time. So you get into a whole bunch of stuff that look very different than the things you was getting into before to make you back in there that time, right? Now let's say you having a kind of friendly conversation with the CEO that basically became family, right? You're trying to explain to them how you different and stuff like that, and why you should get a free meal or not like a some or a free pass to the bathroom. I'm just making up things, right? Right? But look, this person's still gonna see you in the same energy. So it don't matter what you doing that even look different during this bid. That's different than the last few bids you went that got you back in here this time. You know, but even though you're doing different things in the jail, that'd be hard to convince the CEO that basically became family to think you changed for them to still consider you to do something that they may allow someone else to do based upon your history and your past. So you like just walking around with a fart cloud basically. So I'm basically making it simple as far as it don't matter what you do and how positive you is. Depending on what energy you participating in, that'll create just as much blockages for you as the next individual who's a smack monkey and they don't know how to utilize their energy and they just a fool out here. So keep that in mind too. You know what I'm saying? Now, so you gotta have equilibrium in all perspectives. Now, check me out. So, like I said, Sun and Gemini, that's gonna put our actions and our viewpoints and force us to do it to things that deal with communicating and sharing ideas. Now, depending on how frustrating it may be for you, especially when it comes to the other mutable signs like Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, it may be a little harder for you to do what you know you need to do during this particular time and plant all kind of bad seeds unnecessarily due to the fact of you feeling more comfortable diving into your own chakras and I want to do it this way and I want to wait this and I like to think like and you just in your own spaceship not riding the current. That's basically what it is. And you're giving thoughts and feelings, aka your chakras, more importance than what God may necessarily need you to do for you to even get in any position that you think you want to be in. So keep that in mind too. So we're going to get ready to get into all the zodiac signs and all the houses so you can know how to utilize this energy for yourself. But just in a nutshell, to break it down as a form of a narrative so you can know what we're actually breaking down in each house. Man, this motherfucking shit is... stuff is... Oh, okay, I see. So, the Sun in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces, being frustrated and having to learn, because anytime there's a 90-degree angle, that's something we have to learn. So being frustrated or having to learn how to act on communicating or sharing ideas towards the harsh reality of something, so whatever you see in your life as far as a tower moment, the harsh reality, something you got to make sense out of, it ain't even got to be a harsh reality, just the reality of something, the substance of something. That's Saturn. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all may be in a situation where, you might have been flunked out in a delusion and you have to see the reality of that delusion. But it's so small on a percentage scale, it wasn't affecting your life or your bills or your circumstance or your children or your non-children, however the case your life may be. But a lot of individuals are experiencing extreme tower moments and things of that nature. So for the most part, you know what I'm saying? You might have to deal with it or get it rectified due to the fact of some form of communication or analyzing or sharing the idea. Some mutable air type energy. And you can get lost in your own ego all you want. That's just you planting seeds and thinking that monetary gain on that shortcut of quick feel good, compromising your immune system was the right thing. And you thought the universe was in your favor. And the universe ain't even something like a god to be sitting there trying to say you have to be on my side. And anytime something bad happening in your life, that means you're not on my side. That's not the universe. And if you got any kind of creative idea or anything of that nature, you need to automatically know the universe ain't gonna be on your side because you ain't in on the money that you want. You wasn't in on these buildings and structures when they was built. You wasn't in on none of that. All you is being slave mind. So you need to know you ain't even in on the universe unless you know how to change, right? Change a circumstance. And here's the thing: when you change a circumstance, that means whatever that you was trying to go towards, that the universe is blocking you from, you don't care that it's blocked because you didn't carve yourself out another hole in the universe. Then you have to wait till the universe try to fulfill in that space and smother it and clutter it and make it like YouTube right now, overcrowded, and then put you in a situation where you have to do that again. But that's the only way, as a spirit, you doing a good fight, or you just made the universe God in some type of way, and God don't even mess with the universe. Always look at it like this: the universe is something, God is nothing. So God ain't got nothing to do with the universe. We got something to do with the universe. That's why every day you got to get off your own butt. Every day, you got to figure out how you rub two nickels together. Every day, we got to come together as humanity and come up with laws and stuff like that. How we going to relate? Ain't no floating sun cloud in the sky speaking some language that we automatically understand and keeping us in order. It's y'all flunked out minds. And the more y'all can't make it come together, it leads into more depressing and you not getting what you want. And you just using people, other witchcraft and ancestors, and you getting crumbs. So only work on people who look just like you for crumbs. But it's no further than that. That's the universe y'all participate in. The universe ain't got nothing to do with no God or anything of that nature. It's actually against the universe. Actually, Lucifer. When I created mine, you created mine, and we separate ourselves from nothing, right? And get lost in all of our minds. All of our minds have sex, and that becomes the universe. So we have to learn how to relate all of our minds together. And our spirit is our individuality within something that we're all getting ready to create similar, which why we all got eyes, we all got fingers. We all created a similar form with our mind and our body to express our individuality, to be aware of ourselves, because we ain't nothing as a spirit. But just doing that, we separated from God. We separated from all possibility, nothing, and went into something. And that something every day remind you, if you don't deal with that something and come together with something that look just like you, regardless of the species, to make y'all live amongst each other like something, you not taking responsibility for what you created. And anytime you call on God or the universe or something like that, you didn't got lost. You call on the universe, you basically calling on yourself, and you got an inability of being able to relate to others that you came in here in the first place. Same way like your parents fuck. You know what I'm saying? And then when you call on God, that's basically calling on nothing. Be quiet. Don't talk to nobody. Same way God ain't got nobody to talk to. If you try to make that deity something that you could talk to, but it was in a position it ain't talk to, you anthropomorphizing something that ain't that. You trying to be that and think you need that to help. That's your own mind. That's the universe. You're gonna call something devil God at that point. You know what I'm saying? God ain't got nobody. So how you practice that? If you want to be anything or close to God, you can't be talking to nobody. So sometimes you need to be in a space of isolation if you got too much flunk baggage and trauma and stuff like that before you don't do nothing but destroy somebody else's life. And then probably blame them for whatever you did. I see it every day in the hood, especially when it comes to females. She'll blame the dude for her cheating. You know what I'm saying? And even the dude here wastes his money or something like that, or waste her income tax check or something like that because of blaming on one of her attitudes or something like that, or one of her family members. Like y'all just be making excuses because y'all make mistakes with y'all selves and blame it on the other person with something that ain't even got nothing to do with it. Y'all be nothing. That type of stuff be having me scared to death because I'm like, I already went through that, and I ain't even at that space. I even want to even test that type of water. And astrology and spirituality then infiltrated the clubs. So you'll be confused anywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Trust me, I know. I just went to the club with the other Saturday. And that's the first thing that come out of a chick mouth. What sign you is. So it's like, oh man, I don't know no English. I don't even know no astrology at the club. I ain't Doelowdapilotman. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just somebody that might dance. You gotta figure it out after that. But once I start feeling like that, oh, the world is over. Where the main top astrologer in the world becomes not an astrologer and don't speak no English no more when they go somewhere and somebody else got the nerve to say what's your sign. Yeah, that's when you know the world is over at this point. When even the spiritual people got to be Bruce Wayne and Batman. You know what I'm saying? Lois Lane and Wonder Woman. You can't even be the same person everywhere because the world is like faulty now. It's so faulty you get blinded like a mug. You know what I'm saying? Ain't right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? You never sure in today's time because everything is infiltrated. The shadow government been doing a good job. But let me, oh damn, I'm taking too long. Let me get into these alignments. Okay, look, so the Sun and Gemini, Saturn and Pisces, being frustrated and having to learn how to act on communicating or sharing ideas towards the harsh reality or just your simple reality of something right now to be able to obtain security, stability, and status in your life. So, you know what I'm saying? If you want to gain stability, security, and status, these are the things that you may necessarily have to do. And you can't just do it with anyone, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all like the fake woke energy. You know what I'm saying? Like people in the world, they use the fake woke energy. They'll take what I'm saying and do it with people that don't matter. Do it in places that don't matter. Do it in energetic forces that don't matter. No, you have to do it where it matters. You can't say you're a musician and then hear somebody like me like, Yeah, you have to make sure you making songs and making sure you promoting the things of that nature. And then you be like, all right, yeah. So let me put an energy worker promoting these tacos and promoting it. That ain't got nothing. That ain't gonna transmute into that area. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not dealing with that area, don't think that, oh, I'm still practicing the good work of, you know what I'm saying, good ease and energies and rectifying myself. If you ain't even dealing with the area you manifested that don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always take care of your spiritual responsibilities. So you got to make sure you're not trying to do that. Those are shortcuts, monetary gains. That ain't got nothing to do with God. That's you trying to find a shortcut and it looked pleasing, but you just shook a hand with a devil or a demon. That and you're gonna have some pressure of something not going in your way because you ain't looked over the whole contract. So the terms and conditions gonna start playing out like 3 months later for you to start realizing you ain't looking over the whole contract and you thought you just blinked it on God because that first monetary gain got your eyeballs wet in the esoteric world. So a lot of times you have to be careful that you're not in a certain energy. For an example, you might be in a situation where you might be in some situation where you're trying to manifest a business or something like that. And there's certain things you need to do in that business. But you might be like, you might hear somebody say all you have to do is light a candles and sit Indian style or something like that, and then think about the business flourishing, and therefore the business will start flourishing. Therefore, you didn't do anything that your mind was supposed to go towards for the business. You did some other type thing thinking it was going to flourish, and that alone becomes a monetary gain or a shortcut or a fake woke or whoever taught you that energy, 2 peanut butter sandwiches away from you making them an enemy of yours or something like that, and saying that what they do ain't working or something like that. So y'all do stuff for expectations too much. All the way till you meditate. A lot of y'all don't even meditate. Y'all sit down and daydream. Daydreaming ain't meditating. That's idle minding. You know what I'm saying? So you developing ideas you don't need that might steer you to direct your path in another area you don't need to be taking actions towards via people, places, and things. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go into meditating, expecting. Oh, okay, I'm waiting to see a light. All the way to the point y'all become DMT heads and claim that you've seen some light that you can't produce in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension and become a Galileo. Then it becomes a new Christianity because you will give an excuse on why it ain't got nothing to do with you being able to teach others or something like that. So how is you using these words of people creating like spirit and light and telling you that they went somewhere to teach that type of concept if you ain't trying to do that with the DMT? It's the same thing. It's almost as people just be lost. Like the whole world is like lost. There's no such thing as receiving no knowledge or having no spiritual awakening with no DMT. You just got high. That's it. That's really it. Everything you get ready to say is something a Mason created. That's how Uriel look at it. Because I'm intelligent enough. For an example, when a person say, man, when I hit this DMT, I seen 7 spheres of lights and stuff like that. And it was like a portal and stuff like that. In my mind, uh, the term that you seeing something in your mind being a light came from a Mason. You saying you going through a portal, you never seen that in existence. It's an allegory concept of you getting out of one situation, going into another situation, and depending on how heavy, impactful, or how light the situation is, that's a correspondence to the portal you're going through. None of these things are so when you develop a mind state like you went to a dream or an imagination, like you actually seen these things, you extremely flunked out. Because even when you get high, go to sleep, or when you dream, the indoctrination is so constructed in your mind, you have to use it to even know anything about yourself, what you looking at, what you're aware of, beyond words. When you sitting and imagining, you have to go to their first frame of thought to even think you know what you imagining. Now I'm saying all the way down to if I was to tell you no man or woman ever seen a star constellation or a planet in the sky with the naked eye, you might get confused and might go to the moon and sun and be like, yes, we do. Well, what about the sun? And that was the mind state that they was in, and start making allegories of what they think out there to put up there. But only thing I'm gonna tell you is, yeah, you can see the sun. Who said that was a star? Some Mason called that a star. And what a star is made out of. And when we get into what they call stars, that thing ain't made out of what they calling it on Google, like hydrogen and oxygen and stuff like that. Hydrogen and oxygen and stuff do not play out in that attribute. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, this is why y'all separating air, wind, and clouds from the term water, where you see water transmuting into these shapes and forms without nothing being added. Just another density level of water interacting with each other to create a lighter spectrum of it. So for the most part, when you start getting into H2O, that don't even make no sense. If that's the case, hydrogen will just be a bigger version of a smaller version is just what they call an oxygen. But these are one and two of the same things, just at different density levels. So when y'all be getting confused, that's why y'all lost in separation. Different words for one thing during different transitions. And we call them atmospheres. And when we see the interaction, and the interaction produce what y'all call light, fusion, friction, vitamin D. Not no light itself dropping these things off like egg cells and sperm cells. It's like y'all backwards down here because y'all don't go outside and learn yourself with a non-bias. So you would even hear me say what I say, go outside, try to learn for yourself through a bias, like the shape of the earth or something like that, or God about to crack open the sky or something like that. You already lost at that point. You're only gonna see something through what you're trying to see. You're not gonna see what God trying to show you. All possibilities to be able to interpret a possible way of interpreting that message for other individuals. See what I'm saying? And that's a true astrologer, astronomer. Period. And I should be the first one arguing for the existence of planets and constellations. I understand the esoteric knowledge of it because I see me in my future throwing satellites up there and rocking humanity to sleep because it don't seem like I can wake y'all up. So I'm going to get with the program just like in my little 5 handful of people. Y'all just be with me next to that button. Oh, Sarah, we're gonna have, trust me, we're gonna have to have long being around me. We're gonna have to have long conversations and deep, you know what I'm saying, deep realizations and shadow work and Christ-like energies and discussions about that button every day being around me. I'm gonna tell you that right now. For me not to push it, you know what I'm saying? Push it. Push it. Dun, 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 dun. Push it good. Other than that, little salt and pepper jawline neck face. All right, now let's check this out. Now, so in a nutshell, Sun in Gemini, Saturn and Pisces. Thank you so much for the cash out. Reggie, I appreciate that. We ain't spoken on Reggie, but I appreciate that. Bottom from my heart. That probably wasn't even your name. I just seen REG. I appreciate the cash out once again. Now look, check this out. It don't show the bar ain't long enough. It just the RG. But I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Now let's check this out, right? Now getting into Aries through Pisces. Well, this might be a troll because that get a little weird when you don't just do it all at one time. And I see 3 or 4 up there. So yeah, get prepared to get blocked if you're a troll. If I look at it right now. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Yeah, it's a troll. Like, why do y'all be thinking that'll work? I don't get it. Like, all that do is like get you blocked. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Look, check that out. Little good old decline and block. Let's check that out. Good old decline and block. You know what I'm saying? Good old decline and block button. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the best buttons Cash I've ever made for trolls. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking real good at it too. Like I can't. It remind me of the witchcraft because I'm always manifesting. Every time I even talk, y'all see me manifest live. If I'm talking about aliens, y'all see a live alien. Click the link. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm telling y'all, it'll never persevere. If I talk about trying to get in the shadow government the right way, like Jewish way, y'all see somebody get on my live or my link and add on to that. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm talking about a button or something like that, and it's a troll that keep cash apping that's asking, right? Just coming up with all kind of numbers. And I'm like appreciating this moment right now. Like a human actually allowing me to play the ritual out. Like, you mean to tell me I ain't got to go to my holy table? You mean to tell me I ain't got to make up in my mind a human doing it or some shadow government doing it and then make up a fake button over here and then have in my mind something and you know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me when I was talking about it, I actually manifested a human that's a hater? And then there's actually a button I could push right now for the hater that say decline and block. Oh, thank you for this witchcraft. Lord Jesus, that's why you was able to do it like 2 more times if you're going to do it. I'll wait. I need all that. I need all that. You don't play the games I play. Trust me. Especially if I wanted to shit on you in reality of what's real coming from what you talking about. I need all that. Do it 2 more times. What's your name? Let me go back to before I do it because I appreciate this. Reginaldo Brown. Reginald Brown. This is a troll right here. I wish your address and stuff was on there. But look, thank you so much for the donation, Mooney Mercury. You say, hey, Dolo, send the open verse on the music feature. All right, yeah, I'm going to get on that too. That's why I got to go back into my emails. I'm just appreciating this right now. Okay, I got, boom, more options. So that would have been like the security code before we could open up the break because we all got to agree with each other on a security code. We just can't have one person like me around and ain't no security code that multiple people. No, y'all, Sarah, y'all, I have to put something that got me signed in on that. Don't do it one more time, right? Where you at? Do it one more time, Reginald. Where you at? I need all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all humans don't play. Y'all not in the same world I'm in. Whatever you be thinking is funny, trust me, I need all that. Because it don't be funny to me, it be serious. For all realms of realities. My pockets, real life, all kind of stuff you don't even got nothing to do with. Your life, you still just look like some buttercream jawline, Balenciaga waistline grandpa at the age of 20. And it stay like that too. Like, you look in the mirror every day. I might need you to do that again. Come on, do it one more time. Do it one more time. Oh, you ain't shit. Let me go ahead and push it in. Ooh, this feel good. Whoa, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell motherfucking yeah. Block decline. Hell yeah. Oh, that shit feel good. Another procedure. It always like 3 forms of confirmation and 3 forms of verification. Oh, I get it. Whoa. Damn, that felt good. Sarah, what's that? Refresh, you ain't there no more. Refresh the page, you ain't there no more. I gotta look at that part. Or refresh the page, humanity ain't there no more. Refresh the page, you ain't there no more. You refresh the page, your earth ain't here no more. Real shit. God damn, I can't wait. Ooh, it's manifesting real fast now. I just sped up the damn process. Thank you. Show me some power and control rules. Take a position of power. Oh, 50 Cent jawline. The Didn't Get Rich or Die Trying album face. Ooh, I need all that. Oh, sad real stuff. I'm excited. I can't wait. My future look bright. Now let's check this out, right? Now, let's get into these energies so y'all can get this same energy I'm about to get. You know what I'm saying? I already told y'all Jupiter going to my 10th house. I got humans playing. I ain't even got to meditate, witchcraft, nothing. They teamwork makes the dream work for real. That's why y'all know y'all haters is y'all best success. Y'all just don't know how to transmute energy the right way. And I go extremely deep with it in ways a human don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? To a point a human has got to be a weirdo and think like, why do I even watch him to even do that? You know what I'm saying? That's how deep I am in the mind. I get real deep to the point that I go to hell. All right, now let's check this out, right? Now, Aries. So all of this is going to be backed on the energy is based on the sun being in Gemini and Saturn being in Pisces. So for the most part, we're going to have to force ourselves to learn how to communicate our reality in front of us. So as if it's any tower moment, any destructive moment, any 7 swords moment or things of that nature, we're going to have to deal with that reality via communicating or thinking or sharing ideas that can be compatible with others to a certain degree. Because it's mutable energy. And if you're not being mutable, sharing it with others, because fixed is a time for us to be fixated on our own goals. Cardinal is a time to initiate for ourselves and others. Mutable is for ourselves to align ourselves with others, to adjust to see what needs to be right that can benefit ourselves into a fixated position. Whether that fixated position align with others or not, we'll be able to play out the cardinal and the fixed energy and also be our own boss anytime we're going through mutable transitions. That's why it's a hard time for mutable signs to even have a boss. Thank you so much for the donation, Star Chaser. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Now, and they all do it in their own way. Pisces is hard for them to have a boss over their emotions. Sagittarius is hard for them to have a boss over their actions and how they see things and what they want to do at the time they want to do it for freedom. You know what I'm saying? Gemini is hard for them to have a boss over them mentally and intellectually, especially within conversations. And Virgo, it's hard for them to have a boss over them, just the boss itself, the manager, any authority figure. It's a little hard for Virgos to kind of get with the program if they ain't in that position. So for the most part, any Virgo that get in that position might be even extra timid or hard on you than the average individual due to the fact of all the pressure that they put on themselves to get in that position. Now, but for the most part, right, all these mutable energies is letting us know that we got to formulate it in some type of form of communication or sharing ideas in order for the reality at hand, right? As far as our dreams, imagination, and our fantasies could be something that we could bring down and be productive, right? Something productive as far as material, maternal, or something we can ground ourselves on due to the fact of Pisces being in Saturn. So if you're not able to utilize your mutable way of obtaining your emotions with others, mutable water, with the form of dreams, imagination, and fantasies, Neptune, filter through the things that you know and your experiences and your meanings and reasonings, Jupiter, and you are able to filter that, even if it's frustrating, through a form of communicating and sharing ideas, Sun and Gemini, then if you're not able to do that sufficiently, you're either in your own ego, planting too many bad seeds that there's no person, place, or thing. Thank you so much for the Cash App, Carl. Planted so many bad seeds that there's no person, place, or thing around you to even try to intervene, and now you have to be a little bit of a vampire or something like that. Or you may be in a circumstance where if you're not able to do these things, you just might create a whole bunch of self-sabotaging energies because you don't feel good enough to participate. So anytime a door open for you to participate, for God to put you through that little task, even if you do have to get met with rejection for you to get back on task, right? You may choose not to do these things just based off the fear of being rejected, opposed, or things not going in your favor, or you feeling like you're not good enough, or you knowing that you did things behind closed doors. And just the mere fact of that, you know that you're a negative spirit. So you rather do things in your own way and suffer in the little bed that you made. So anytime you're in a situation where you're not able to sufficiently communicate and bring balance into how you see reality in a way that you can structure your dreams and imagination and fantasies for it to make sense, to gain stability, security, shelter, and support, then for the most part, you're going to be on the opposite side of whatever you're claiming that you want to manifest and interact with the universe, as if the universe ain't already against you as is. See what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. So right now, it's up to you how you choose to participate. It's up to you how you choose to participate, and it's up to you how you choose to interact and intervene, and therefore you'll be able to get the maximum outcome of whatever that you're trying to participate in or materialize or manifest. But if you're not utilizing these energies, right, you're going to be washed up under the current based on you being up under the currents, the transits, and you being lost in your own current, your own individuality. That leads to you not participating with the universe, not even in a way that you can change it, right? And you trying to force things to go in your favor based upon witchcraft, fake woke stuff, or love spells. And due to that fact, you're going to have blood on your hands based upon wasting too much time with the monetary gains and shortcuts of quick feel goods and quick thinking that things was going in your favor based upon what you was only looking at, not observing the whole perspective. So whatever small race you was in, of course, you're going to win it because you're in your own small world. But from a general perspective, the outcome, you end up being in the last worldly race for all of us as spirits when it comes to manifesting our position we want to be in, relationships we want to be in, circumstances and situations we want to be in. We don't want to put ourselves in no esoteric secret competition fight with someone that we hate or love interest and never actually share that space in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension based upon creating some fake race that only you know you're winning, when in reality you're actually lost in la la land, and in the real world no one is even in a race. Everyone is trying to build a building in the space that they are in, not running in circles because they're spiritually lost. So you have to keep that in mind and get rid of a lot of the spookism, even if you are into a lot of these things, to help it with your disciplines in your life. But when it comes to you experiencing, you're not supposed to be utilizing a lot of these things. For an example, I'm an astrologer, but I don't utilize astrology to go out and experience. I'll allow astrology to tell me what I'm experiencing. I don't allow astrology to prevent me from experiencing. So a lot of times y'all will get into astrology and tarot cards and stuff like that, and it will prevent y'all from experiencing based on the devil, expectation. You expecting this. And then a lot of y'all tie that on strangers and people y'all not even really invested in to even know what's going on privately to that magnitude. Chalk it up to everything that you only think you see online and base that predicated on whatever you're hearing from the astrologer or the tarot card reading to justify if you're right or wrong and should you make a decision or go for something, whether that's a business, career, or a love matter. And that alone, God don't like ugly. You see what I'm saying? Everything's supposed to be past tense. You're supposed to be experiencing something all the way to the point that you're in a situation you ain't got to hear nothing and you become the teacher. Or if you're not a teacher in that energy, these things is just confirmation to prove you right or wrong of what you have already participated with because you're too busy with a purpose anyway. And you need a lot of opposition and rejection. And you may not even experience that, but you may need opposition and rejection for you to even know what to adjust to put yourself in a position that you truly want to be in. And without going through those negligent scenarios, you'll probably get rocked to sleep, robbed, blind, taken advantage of in all kind of ways, and misused, getting in that position you think you won't without going through those early stages God will put you through to get you prepared and even protect that position when you know when you get there. See what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get somewhere where it get taken away from you just as fast as you got there, or you will be someone who trying to start something like me online and not be able to have as many videos or be up here as many years as me, and they have to create another reason to hate me and make what I'm doing right now seem like that ain't important, make it seem like that ain't what it means, or that ain't spirituality or something like that, due to the fact of the small world that you in, that don't got nothing to do with the general world and what God is looking at individuals to use as a vessel for confirmation in their actual life, that if they choose to present it to you again being a hater, it'll be God making them look real good at doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll just become a hater till you die, especially if you're a hater in minds. I had a lot of haters that I'm pretty sure died within 5 years. They started hating on me and stuff. A lot of people done disappeared off online. You know, a lot of people done got old, and them. You know, I said a lot of people was about 18 years old, spoke a few words, hating, probably wasn't even a content creator. They look about 60-year-old right now. You know what I'm saying? They whole YouTube career over. They didn't even choose to get on it. You know what I'm saying? That's how deep I go. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. I like to keep the peace and stay in my lane. And my lane is like all lanes. I just do it the peaceful way. Don't take advantage of that. Now, getting into this energy deeply now, because I ain't even mean to go this long. I just miss y'all. But I got to finish these readings and stuff like that, and open verse and stuff like that. Now, let's check this out. I be needing assistance for real. I learned how to assist myself. And I'm about to go hard online. Go hard online, because I know how to think like humans now, too. So the stuff y'all comfortable with, I'm comfortable with, too. Like deeply, like all the way down to like, man, I'm weird. Y'all might think I'm weird, but in my world, I think y'all weird. But when I be talking to God and stuff like that, God say, yeah, be more human and stuff like that sometimes. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, I feel weird even getting on Facebook. I feel weird even posting an IG story. Like I feel like for real, like and then I come from a space too. Everything got to be productive. I ain't monetized on IG or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's really a small portion of time. Really no time, but I'm Uriel, so I be able to force it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. And if I don't see nothing productive in nothing, you know what I'm saying? They got like a small portion of my time. And it's a lot of things going on in my real life that ain't even got nothing to do with online that look good. It look real good for me to keep participating if I could be like this and just have things so I could be online. You know what I'm saying, Russ? So I don't play. You know what I'm saying? I don't play. And any female around me, she ain't gonna play. Even if I gotta teach her how to not play the Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo controller all day. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. And when we do play the game, we play on hard. You know what I'm saying? What's an example of that? It might be a time God need me to spiritually do something in another city or state. It don't matter if I got license or not. The game on hard is go the distance the average person wouldn't go by yourself without no license either, whether you get put over or not, and let the Lord be with you. That's it. You play the game on hard. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? I ain't need no cheat codes or nothing. But guess if you beat the game on hard, you get extra endings, like new endings the average normal person or the easy player didn't see and stuff like that. Other benefits, and I'll say y'all play Pit Fighter and stuff like that. You get extra coins and money on Sega and stuff like that if you beat it on hard on Pit Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. And I'll do all the karate kicks and jawline necks and kicking off people's Chinese masks that really look like they flesh and skin for real though. Man, they ain't even have to do no makeup, being an extra in no movie or stuff like that. It just get right in. You already look like you off Sci-Fi Channel and stuff. But yeah, like at the same time, you get all kind of good extra perks and stuff like that, playing it on hard and stuff like that. Trust me, I see it every time. Every time. So I ain't letting no human tell me take it easy nowhere. Sometimes I be seeing weird fart clouds, love spells every now and then. Be like, Dolo, you don't have to do all this. You could just kind of see me. Hopefully you know where I'm at, because we talking esoterically right now. Yeah, I can't see you there. It's like ghosts. But at the same time, yeah, and then you could just stop everything and then I wouldn't be Dolo then. I'll be something like you on the couch, being a ghost, creating a fake page. I'm cool on that. I like making real pages, it being productive, me making something out of my life. I like doing that version of it. I like wasting no time on no fake page or nothing. Like, I say real stuff. So don't inbox me no more of those either. Y'all don't know what I deal with. Sometimes I'll be wishing I had like a female. Just you deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Like, but I'd be like, but God say no, Dolo. You Dolo. You should have never tried to be like me and pick that name. Deal with it. Get the fuck away from me too while you at it. You know what I'm saying? My heart be broken. Like, God, don't talk to me like that. God, don't talk to me like that. Real stuff, don't talk to me like that. Real stuff. Humanity gonna get this sweat after that. Then I wake up in the morning and everybody catch flames. You know what I'm saying? It'll be having nothing to do with y'all though. It'll be something that God told me I ain't like. I'm saying real stuff. I couldn't fight back because the door always locked. Nobody allowed in the room and stuff. Real stuff. Like y'all be knowing I be dealing with real stuff. Real stuff. God damn, y'all be knowing I be dealing with. But at the same time, like I got, man, like trust and genuine. The one I had to create don't even exist in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. So like every now and then, God said, check yourself, because I jumped down in humanity and put up all these expectations and what I expect and values and all these stuffs about trust evaluate of stuff that ain't even in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. I said, so it's like, oh man, that's like let me just leave humanity for a second, real stuff. Because ain't no way I'm supposed to be getting like 80 to 75% of genuine and business and about 65-70% of the trolls and fake pages and ghosts and stuff like that, and just coming out of nowhere. Where the whole thing appear to be like they probably watched, they must have watched 10 of my videos and put a collection of what they think I need together, and then it's it almost made me feel like it might be like somebody that actually I am aware of, because I don't like to give humans that much of a credit sometimes. I almost messed up and start messaging too many people at one point trying to figure things out, because I ain't trying to be blinded right now. And people need to be up front and up straight. But I think people look at my energy and get scared. I scare people a lot. But I mean, I ain't that type of individual, but I don't need nobody practicing no witchcraft right now. I'm on a mission. So I'm willing to like let a human be a human, but I need to know. So I got like a lot of like fake type of troll type of stuff, and it's starting to make me feel like somebody is checking to try to see how I respond, so whenever I get on live again and they secretly watch, you know what I'm saying, they can see my response in a way that they can feel. It's weird. I see the fart cloud. It's like a fart cloud. It's almost like a love spell, almost a Manly P. Hall love spell, almost. I just look at it for a little bit like, what is this? I ain't even had no time to fight it, because I'm like fighting the shadow government right now and stuff like that. I'm like, man, all right, man, whatever. I say, like, I just have to go back to the shadow government, right, and then start saying, God, man, manifest me some chick to take care of that. Oh, say real stuff. I'm still fighting the fight. You know, I ain't got time for all that. I feel like I gotta make another email address. So I'm coming up with another email address after this Archangel Uriel one. I'm gonna tell people where that one at and stuff like that. So I just don't have to post that one publicly online and stuff like that, just because I think, in my mind, I think I'm just running a regular thing like everybody else running. But I guess in the universe mind, it's not like that, because who would I attract as far as trolls and Caucasus Mountain and the trolls that be looking like they be jacking off on my live stream and stuff. So ain't no telling where these people like. So that could be one of them who was doing the fake troll stuff just on the Cash App. See what I'm saying? So it's like my life is kind of different. I don't be knowing how. I don't know how I track a live wire, a iguana, alligator, and stuff like that in my life. Something that ain't even human and something like that. But I got these type of haters. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. Thanks so much for the Cash App. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Like, y'all get to deal with regular problems, like haters at work, haters and stuff like that. Like, I gotta actually deal with aliens and pet iguanas and pet lizards and stuff and actual demonic masons. I like, it's weird. I don't get it. I think I dress hood and stuff. Sometimes I be thinking I do so much rituals that I don't even think some of these type of people will even come across me to even invest. Like, so it's like weird. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, but I understand. I'll be listening to God. Real stuff. It'd be all too many fart clouds and stuff like that, and then I'll be going on another mission and stuff like that. Then sometimes a little bit of divine masculine, but more of the divine feminine, be attacking me secretly, and I'll be getting attacked by the divine feminine because I'm fighting a mission. But the divine feminine, I think I'm attacking them by my way of attacking something that I'm not even thinking about them. And then I'm getting snatched away, and the shadow government can use that energy itself to put me in some type of position where it's like cock blocking. I'm getting ghostly cock blocked. I never knew you could get cock blocked by ghosts. Like I never knew that before until I came in this world. This is weird. How you get cock blocked by a ghost? So your whole life get cock blocked by something you can't even cock. Like, what is this? Like, man, listen, virtual reality, you better hurry up and have a button somewhere that some small group of humans can find with a code or something like. Oh, saying real stuff. Like, I can't wait because I got that ritual right now. I just practice. I got it right now. God, you're not gonna put no chains on me. You know I'm saying? Real stuff, man. This is real life. Let me stop talking right now. This is really only conversations for someone who could go in them emails and take care of things. So let me be quiet right now because I don't need that anymore. So it's like I'm on my own assistant. So I gotta be tough. I gotta be divine feminine. I gotta be secretary divine feminine too with my divine masculine. Yeah, I just can't be extreme divine masculine anymore. I gotta be secretary dolo too. Then I gotta do it for others. You know what I'm saying? Male or female. I'm being an assistant now as a manager. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people's goals and business, men, business. I mean, but females, other things like assistances and stuff. Other stuff like other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back on OnlyFans. I said, as soon as I clean it up, though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be what y'all think. It's just me being more ratchet and I could curse more and stuff like that. And I might be in other places other than here and still astrology and cards and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't not no flesh and all that stuff. Like, every now and then, you know what I'm saying? The pictures I be wanting to post on IG, I could post them on there or videos or something like that. It could be like that or whoever I'm with at the moment. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna help Daddy Uriel benefit the community, and that's one of the ways too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different ways. As long as it can help us get to school, that goddamn it, I damn near like I gotta feel comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real, I gotta feel like, yeah, as soon as I can get into school, business is already running. If I see any signs of as soon as I get into school, all the work on my back. I'm having like a couple videos on World Star. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff, a couple vacations and stuff. So a whole lot of leisure time. Other stuff ain't gonna go live again. That's about it. Saying real stuff. I have a little bit of inspiration, something like that, and other inspired people that I feel like it's a potential too. So I'm like, oh, I ain't the only one that's into it just as hard as this person too. So I know if I fall off, I lean on them. I fall off, or they fall off, they lean on me. As far as we ain't even falling off, we just doing stuff to make our stuff bigger. As far as music, entertainment, education, religion, politics. But see, I'm a man. I just gotta utilize a little bit of my divine feminine. But see, as a man, you know what I'm saying? I'm already controlling that. You know what I'm saying? Alright, and change business entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Education, religion, politics right now. I already did all that. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. All right, now let's check this out, right? Aries. Now, Aries, you're going to be in a situation where there's going to be opportunities to support or destroy something that can be stable or secure based on dreams and delusions. Taurus, you're going to have opportunities because it's like a sextile energy, but it's also like a, sextile. And it's also something that's not rubbing you the wrong way because Gemini is just on the other side of you. So for the most part, there's opportunities to ground or support a dream or delusion that can be communicated or shared. Geminis, this is going to be being an example of knowing what to do or not to do towards frustrating situations dealing with the reality of our dreams or delusions. You know what I'm saying? Cancers, right? This is going to be the gift of supporting or destroying, connecting to the reality of a matter via your dreams or delusions when it comes to communicating or sharing ideas. Leos, opportunities to create misunderstandings between communicating or sharing ideas towards the reality of the matter of something. Dealing with a dream or delusion. So you Leos can create a lot of misunderstandings based upon being a 150-degree angle, right, to Pisces. And Neptune is exalted in Pisces. So for the most part, you might overexhaust yourself into expressing yourself in such a manner that might create a misunderstanding when it comes to trying to communicate something or share ideas towards the reality of something or a tower moment or something you're trying to rebuild. Virgo, having to learn or be frustrated with opposing or defensive communications that's needed to be had, or sharing ideas based on the reality of a matter towards a dream or delusion that you may feel opposed from due to the fact of Saturn being in Pisces. Libra, right? Now, Libra is the gift of creating confusion or misunderstandings via communication or sharing ideas towards the reality of the matter based on dreams and delusions. And how am I constructing these? I'm constructing these based on an alignment. So, the gift is coming from the trine, 120-degree angle from you being a Libra and Gemini sun, the sun being a Gemini right now. But you're going to create misunderstandings between whatever gift that you have, your gift of communicating, to make things that you once was trying to initiate. You could be a little bit more fluid, a little bit more mutable, a little bit more understanding if you utilize this energy the right way. Utilize your air energy in a more mutable way because you're the cardinal version of it. But the sun is in Gemini. The more you two cardinal, you'll still meet the same situation as any other sign, no matter if it's in your same element or not. You're using too much of your own energy of it though. Cardinal, where you need to be a little bit more mutable, a little bit more changing, a little bit more non-initiative, and let someone else initiate something for a small portion of your life that you're interacting with and relating to other individuals. So the gift is coming from Gemini, but you have this gift to communicate and create misunderstandings if you're communicating about the reality of something or your dreams, your imagination, or your fantasies that you might want to use and direct in a productive way when it comes to being creative or making money in material or maternal, because your in conjunction is Pisces and it's in Saturn, and Saturn is an exaltation for your sign. So you're going to automatically be paying attention to Saturn-like things, and you're almost like a kid at Disney World when it comes to Saturn-like things. Libras love money, security, stability that can lead to laziness and being in a position. And your way of going about it, you may create a lot of misunderstandings because it's needing to be done in a mutable waterway, which is an in conjunction based upon the alignment and the angle and the positioning. Pisces there. So you might go over extreme to do something that's you're excited about, that have something to do with dreams and imaginations and fantasies that may lead you into not doing nothing else but breaking up a happy home or breaking up your own home in some way, shape, or form based on being excited on with this dream in front of you that you was communicating with, thinking that it was the right decision to go about it, whether it's a relationship, business wise, or career wise. So keep that in mind. Business wise could be gossip. So don't tie business to career all the time. Now, Scorpios, right? You could be in a situation where you misunderstand it or unsure. Misunderstanding and unsure is coming from the in conjunction between you and Gemini. But what you're going to have a misunderstanding and be unsure about is things that you have gifts towards, aka your 120-degree angle. If you do it the right way, get out of your fixated energies and be a little bit more mutable with your emotions and your feelings. Be more Piscean-like with an energy that you may already understand, being Scorpionic, but you have to let loose of certain fixated excitements or guilt trips that lead into being let down or overexcited and still making mistakes and letting a good situation turn into toxic. So for the most part, when it comes into Scorpios, right, you're going to have this misunderstanding or be unsure how to communicate, misunderstanding, unsure how to communicate, aka you're in conjunction with Gemini. So you're going to misunderstand how to communicate or be unsure on how to communicate your gifts, aka this 120-degree angle with Saturn and Pisces. And your gift right now is basically knowing how to see the reality at hand. So a lot of times you giving somebody the truth cut and dry is actually needed right now where it wasn't needed previously. And a person may look at you like you negative or always the party downer or always trying to present something bad can happen, even if we're aware of what was bad can happen, but we don't need to go down that line of reasoning and train of thought before we actually do it, which a lot of Scorpios have in common with Virgos. But at the same time, you're going to be in a situation where you have a misunderstanding or be unsure how to communicate or share your ideas when it comes to your gifts that you got right now of seeing a reality at hand, where you can help somebody damage and you damage, but you got this gift of being able not to express yourself as being so damaged or allow others to see you sweat. And that'll also put you in a better position just by manifesting in that energy. And you might not be able to communicate that way to help someone else or to align yourself with someone else to benefit you during this particular time. You may have a hard time communicating, and it might create misunderstandings when you're really just trying to communicate your gift, but you may not have a sufficient way of doing it with Gemini being there, right? So for the most part, make sure you see the reality at hand and utilize it for your the way you're supposed to. So when you are communicating, that misunderstanding ain't there. And therefore, when you are showing the other individual or you're dealing with your own ways of being more mutable, of dealing with the excitement or the grudge, you're not expecting so much, so that grudge or excitement turn into something, or vengeful energy or resentment, and you're able to be in a space that you could develop new ideas that gift going to give you with Pisces and Saturn, to to construct and use that as a productive energy down here to gain a status, security, or structure in your life, or organize your life, with Saturn being in Pisces, your gift. And whoever you communicate with, that misunderstanding will be something that y'all communicate that create an understanding. Now, for the most part, Sagittarius, being opposite, or being the one that could create fairness and balancing to what's needed towards communicating and sharing ideas about frustrations or learning process towards the reality of the matter. So you may be dealing with a tower moment, or you may be helping someone else with a tower moment, or you may be trying to prevent one in some way, or you may be putting good seeds in protection mode. But your way of expressing yourself is either, if you're negative and planting bad seeds, you might not see it at the moment, but other people will be able to see it, and then the outcome will play out when the shift change. But if you're planting good or bad seeds, right, you're going to either be able to be the opposing or the balancing matter of what needed to be communicated if we're going to rectify any type of frustrations in some way, shape, or form. So you're going to have to get in your more mutable communication style, or create some type of balance where there aren't any in some way, shape, or form when it comes to frustrating matters. So don't run from frustrating situations, aka a lot of you Sagittarius also may, because it's in your chart to be free. So a lot of times you may look at your responsibilities as a cage, and things that you actually need to take care of and stuff like that. You need to be hard and don't be scared of these things, like it's going to trap you in a cage because you're thinking too much about all the things you got to do to get it done. And that alone make you procrastinate and prevent it and try to give it another godly time to do it. No, attack everything without the near thought and stuff like that, and go straight into it. So you can start developing the Gemini, the opposite energy, and that's automatically going to bring you into you already using your energy in the right direction as the transits in the sky. Capricorn, there's going to be misunderstanding where you actually have opportunities at. But you may just lack forms of communicating and sharing ideas towards the reality of the matter, dealing with dreams and delusions. So what does this mean? Misunderstanding is coming from the Gemini energy and things of that nature, because Capricorn in conjunct Gemini. So you're going to misunderstand where you actually have opportunities at based upon Gemini. You're going to misunderstand where you could be productive and stuff like that, and opportunities, because Pisces is sextiling your is sextiling you, and it's sextiling with the planet that's your depositor, which is Saturn, the planet that rules you. So your main focus is to be more creative right now, not to be so dry, where previously it made sense and you justified it and it helped your life be situated. But now you're being forced, even if you are situated, you're even being forced to take your situation, your accumulations, for more dreamy like things, imagination like things, fantasy like things. So Capricorns in general are awakening their spiritual natures way faster than they used to, just with this transit itself. And for the most part, now that you're in this energy, you're even willing to spend money on things you wasn't willing to spend money on before, if it didn't look practical or substantiated in reality. But it could be something that can help you with your nature, and something that if you utilize it right, it can springboard something in the future that can take you away from what you're thinking is practical, as far as that regular job or whatever like that, and what you think makes sense, other than what else makes sense to take your check and go spend it on. As far as objects you can utilize, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people will be like, I can play the violin, but I know I need to work at this job and pay here more than going to get that violin, because if I go get that violin, I might can't pay for this bill this week or whatever like that. But the violin is something that if you utilize it the right way, you could get into a certain situation where that ability take you into a position that you no longer even got to work at that job, that allows you to take that check that you spent it for something for God, that violin. But every now and then, people get so lost and confused in both of these worlds. You have a large amount of people that will do both. Work at a job, can't really do it, still get that violin, but be so distracted that pick certain experiences of the violin not being worth it first, then the other things that they start to choose, like, I should have not bought the violin and did this first, and before you know it, they pawn the violin or get rid of it or something like that, and they life go back towards to truly being invested into their job, purely being for their bills and what they think other people are going to look at them as normal with, when they just needed to take a little bit more time with the violin and had a little bit more faith, belief, and imagination in some way, shape, or form, and created that spectrum. But the weird fart cloud peer pressure that this world puts you in as soon as you go outside and take that first breath of fresh air is what can blind you without you even know you're being blinded at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So You just got to like figure out. And when you figure out, it ain't about being sure, because when you sure, that's expectation. And you ain't never sure. See what I'm saying? So you ain't going to be sure you going to make it from the violin. That ain't the point. The point is showing God that you willing to sacrifice for the sake of something that don't got nothing to do with the shadow government world. And God might even take you through situations to make you feel like you still made a mistake. The more you don't pawn that violin, the more you still do it, the more you went through that sacrifice, like forget that bill. I just stack up and pay that bill as long as I got this violin. So when I'm not at work, I can take this time on this violin, regardless of all the examples in the world that y'all be calling the universe God, that might start showing you examples first of why I was a mistake buying that violin. You erase all those thoughts with your meditation and not pondering over thoughts and just daydreaming. And then you'll still be in a mind frame of space for God. And then God will give you an ability that you will develop, and you will have a thought and feeling and an action to get up and do that will attract a person, place, or thing, or a place that you will go with that violin that'll take you right up out that job that allowed you to buy it. And you will have a hell of a even better testimony, because it might be so juicy. Your success story will be like, yeah, because I was working at that job this long, then I was homeless, and then the violin for this amount of months made me feel like I shouldn't have had it, and this, that, like all that is good juicy story for the average individual, for they could be tough, for they could realize life ain't about something just falling on your lap and given to you, and money falling off trees. And therefore, each one teach one. And that's how we all come together. Because if we all respect game and positioning, there would be no such thing as haters. Because the hater will understand what it took for a person that they're hating on to be in that position, for them to act in ways that the hater look at that they don't like. Because a hater only develop as wanting a position of someone else, but not willing to put in the work to get there. So every time their shortcuts don't work, they'll find reasons esoterically to why it's like that, to make themselves not look bad around the people that they're around, or just for themselves, to make themselves smile. So they'll become a troll to make themselves smile, where in reality, you're just a troll and that's it. You ain't the person you was trolling. So at the same time, these are just things that a hater develop when they have these type of inabilities and things of that nature. But they have to get out of that own funk, because when you giving off that energy, it's going to be something that you actually want to do, and what you put in is what you get out. So it's going to be something that you want to do that don't even involve anything that you're hating on, and you're going to get that energy back. And if you're not doing a lot of shadow work, it's coming through the filtering system of something that ain't got nothing to do with that. People, places, and things you want to do. So you might be so distracted and blinded and not knowing where these starting points coming from. You're going to be questioning God or whatever you question and stuff like that, asking the universe and stuff like, why am I getting hated on? Why am I doing this? And you might be so distracted when you do jump into that space of your leisure time, doing something that you have made normal and comfortable, hating, you continuously doing it, not even knowing. And then you do that on your break time from you being depressed again, where you actually getting hate, not even knowing that's why you getting hate. You in another space as a spirit, participating in energies, bringing it in another place that you don't want it in, but you just an ugly spirit, and you don't know you ugly because you only looking at your own mirror. You're not looking at the esoteric mirror for everybody. So you in your own discipline, your own law order down here, your own desires that only meet to that shadow priest, and being deserted and isolated and frustrated. And where's that razor blade and that you can put next to your wrist at? I'm saying, real stuff. Man, I don't know why I keep going down spiritual lines reading. I gotta finish these readings, goddamn. Let me get right. Okay, now look. So, like I said, Capricorns, be careful right now, because you guys could be misunderstanding where you actually have opportunities at, due to the fact of you lacking communicating, and you not communicating enough and stuff like that. Tapping in where your depositor at, which is in Pisces, and communicating with other individuals to see if your dreams is delusions or creativity or not, with that external reciprocation that you're getting ready to initiate with your cardinal energy, then you're not going to be able to know what opportunities in front of you, and you might even start to build resentment in areas there aren't any, and then act too fast with your cardinal energy and actually burn a bridge, or talk yourself right out of some pussy, or talk yourself right out of some dick and some pork, and helping hand with everything you need helping hand with, and then your tires fixed, and you ain't got to go pay $600 from someone because you drove up there yourself, and you just a female, and you probably got a better male father or uncle or brother or something like that, or nephew or something like that. So when you go to the car lot, $600 to change your tires. You know what I'm saying? If you had a man, about free. So you see how I say you got to think like sometimes too. You got to think. Sometimes y'all don't be thinking a lot. Like y'all like low key retarded. I be seeing that at times too in this world. But at the same time, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. I'm here to get your mind clear and stuff, and think about your future, not just the good monetary gain now and the good itch being scratched and being wet now. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna wear off after a while. You want to look for stability, security. You want to look for the energies like, oh, that look like that'll be there every day and never budge. That's what you want to look for. You don't want to look for shaky grounds. But right now, the first shaky grounds look like Disney World and La La Land and stuff. So yeah, of course you could burn yourself out. You eat as much cotton candy you want and stuff like that. After a while, you start getting tired of cotton candy though. No, I say after a while, you get tired of that roller coaster, surfboard. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I say after a while, you get tired of water slides. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're like, dang, all right, what's up? But okay, where's the outcome? Is we gonna get this backyard, this picket fence? Is we gonna be able to make our own never, La La Land? I says we gonna be able to have our own backyard where, grandma can go on vacation because we got all the rides in our backyard, holy systems and roller coasters that ain't red, black, and green, and holy man's walking on waters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then when you start not seeing that, La La Land US start not looking so good and exciting no more, right? Right? Cotton candy colors start not looking so colorful no more. You start like, can we make a new color now? And if you're around a better male or GMO, I got my own corporation, female. You know what I'm saying? They might not know how to make another colorful cotton candy because they probably making so much money off that one or so secure at La La Land and that one. You get tired of that one. You don't even like cotton candy no more at some point, no matter how good it used to be. These are the days of our lives. What Crazy Bone said? Wishing Bone and Busy Bone. I'm saying Lazy Bone. PBS channel. Real stuff, but y'all gotta peep game. This world is tricky down here. It's tricky. And energy can get all washed up because you was paying attention to the wrong job, wrong circumstance, wrong family member, wrong friend. Some of y'all got some flunked out family members that they wish they could have did things at your age, so they got some resentment. But it comes out through the filtering system of love and it being the right advice and things, and it not even looking like it's bad because they haven't done enough shadow work, and these things been lingering along so long that it became part of their ego and what helps them with their vulnerability. So a lot of times they're just fools and agents by default. You ever had somebody in your life, especially if they went to college, and they be like, this the right decision? And every time you do anything that look like it's different than that, you get them evil eyes and the Mike eyes. You know what I'm saying? Tina Turner now. You chill out. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That mean it's like context to that. It's like a meat to the bones behind that. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's substance behind that. If you seen that, if you understand that, and you seen that movie, you know what I'm saying? So, you like this the PBS channel right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with me. What you talk about? What you talk about right now? What you talk about, Willis? That don't sound productive. Fuck about him who was in. You know what I'm saying? Stuff. What smack monkey you was with? You know what I'm saying? You had to do what for who? You know what I'm saying? Real quick. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of energy you got to think about. You know what I'm saying? Spirituality, what's going on right now. Real content, real good. I turn a Tina Turner energy. You know what I'm saying? Real good homie Ike energy and Tina. Going over to their house on the weekend before the holiday because this is the best house to go join up at. Everybody will go over to their house and join up for the because my backyard ain't shit. So let's go to Ike and Tina Turner's house. Y'all say hopefully Tina ain't got no glasses on today and stuff like that. So we go have some gossip to talk about when we go back to the crib after we got seconds and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They money good. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna chill out. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say. What happened? Why you got on glasses? I don't speak no English on this part. Like, yeah, what we gonna do tomorrow? Yeah, can I get seconds? That's it. I'm gonna go right on home. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I ain't see nothing. I'm saying real stuff. I'm gonna go right on home. Oh, Sarah, don't ask. No questions. And this is our business. Oh, Sarah, real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just invited your mugger shade bird over here for a meal. But Jay, Y'all got to keep that in mind. I'm saying real stuff. Did I break down Aquarius and Pisces? Okay, now, Aquariuses, right? This is the gift of taking your fixed nature, because you're fixed air, and making it a little bit more mutable or mobile. So you can have better ideas that don't seem like you're standing on your own rut so much, or your own stance on something so much. Even if you do have your own stance, you have to act a little fake and phony right now, mutable, for the sake of certain doors that can be open, because you know you in a phony world with your microphone head. So every time you talk, the whole world hear it, because like you ain't got no choice. So people just make up words about it. They might say Aquarius is rebellious or negatively, or they might say on the positive end, Aquarius is always unique. No, it ain't got nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. All y'all Aquarius got microphone heads. So it's like y'all already got like y'all voice boxes is like bullhorns in the esoteric world. So like every time y'all talk, like people got no choice but to like listen to y'all and like kind of like y'all or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just we just call it words like rebellious or unique, but it's like y'all, you know, all y'all heads is like microphones. You got microphone size shaped heads, you know what I'm saying? So that's at some point, everything y'all say, the whole world and galaxy and the universe and Marvel comic book and galaxy of the universe, they're gonna hear it. So since I'm in the universe, I'm gonna hear it too and stuff like that. So I make sure it ain't too much your depositor floating in Saturn and Pisces. Make sure it ain't too much of that. Hopefully you ain't got Mercury and Pisces. At the same time, but I love y'all Aquarius. You got the gift. Y'all got the gift right now, as long as you make it more a little mutable. Can't be so fixed. Remember, you fix. So when you start expressing things too much in your own funk and stuff like that, yeah, it sound good, but then it sound like you're going to isolate yourself in the future that someone might want to cut you $1 million for and stuff like that. But you might got this certain stance, and the person who could cut you $1 million might don't like that president, or they might not like that basketball player, or they might not like that kind of stance on something that's going on in the world on AI or something like that. So that already stopped you right there. So Aquarius, you got to put on that fake smile. Because you know it'd be like it's a fake world and stuff like that, and you already in space, and you like got a hot air balloon microphone head and stuff like that, so you float and you see everything down here. You know what I'm saying? So like you gotta if you about to participate with down here, as soon as you get down here, put on that fake smile. And just go ahead and allow people to think that you like believe what you don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't even say your stance on it. Like you liked that president or nothing like that. So when that person hear what you normally do, how you normally are yourself and what you normally like to say, and interact with your family, friends, and associate, you already you. But you know you have to play that little fake fun. Grandma ain't gonna argue with you this week over Jesus Christ. And that person who get ready to give you $1 million, they ain't got that stance point to have that second question there. They don't even know what basketball player you like. You was standing in your lane, low key, doing what you do, but at the same time, you know how you can be a little rebellious a little bit. But I'm telling you right now, don't forget, you got a microphone head. So too many people could hear it, even when you don't think. You got eyes who you don't think seeing you, and you're around you and your surroundings. You got people who you don't think listening to you, or they listening real good. You got that microphone head. It go real far. I'm telling you, like y'all say, y'all float around. You ever seen like you ever went on Google and type in how aliens look in the first couple pictures, little kids draw and stuff like that, where it's like the chin, then it goes. Y'all said my big microphone. Y'all said, so y'all got to know this. Y'all said, use your voice the right way right now. Be fake. Grandma don't even need to know all this new knowledge you didn't read to know that Jesus Christ ain't real. You already know grandma get paid her SSI check and stuff like that month. You know you need your nails done. You know your check, that little check had to go to them little bills this week. You know, you kind of a little $20, $30 short on your nails this month. So you know what I'm saying? So you know right now, okay, grandma, you get ready to go over there. You know what I'm saying? Grandma don't know what you think about Jesus. You still just talking how you think. Boo, grandma getting ready to help you out. You got your nails and you got your bill paid. And you get ready to got some money to save and buy a dress or something like that and keep the tag on it and to return it tomorrow after Saturday. All that. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying, bro? Microphone head. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can hear it. Just be quiet. We don't need to know everything. Don't block your own blessings. You talk yourself right out of $1 million right now being an Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. The president watching you right now. Do not say anything about Biden. You know, I mean, nothing about Trump. Don't say nothing about Trump. President watching right now. Don't say nothing about Trump. Even though you don't know nothing, you don't like nothing about Biden. Use your sarcasm. That's where y'all gifted at. Use y'all sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? Grandma might start talking about Jesus walking on water. You know, normally, this is why you have to go outside and take a breather. This week, no, it's not like that. You know, so even if you got to use your fake smile, but also tactics when it comes to goddamn manipulating in the mind and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? AKA sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? You know, every now and then when I come across Aquarius, though, you know, I like to put that, separate the S and put a N in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, not all the time. Every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Narcasm. No, every now and then, not all the time. I love y'all. If you watch my channel, no, the sarcasm, that's your gift and talent. Every now and then, the lower octave Aquarius says sometimes you got to look at spellings the shadow government put us in, like spells and rituals. Then, like, no, look at the Aquarius in your life, like your family or your friend and stuff like that, and they sometimes separate that word S and put an N there and be like, oh, this makes more sense for this one. You know what I'm saying? Start scratching your head and stuff. When you get to the higher octave ones, then we get to, you got real good gifts and talent, sarcasm. You know what I'm saying, real? I'm just keeping it 100. I got to keep it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I want you to scratch off that scratch off and get $1 million. You on your way. Real order for that. But look, check this out. Whole world can hear you. Microphone head. You gotta plug everything. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that grandma even use your sarcasm, even if the Aquarius energy air, all puns intended, don't allow you to shut up. Instead of you having to go on the porch and take a breath of fresh air, as soon as grandma said, you better, Jesus walked on water. That's why you don't believe it. That's why you witnessing that tower moment. And you could be like, oh yeah, I seen a turtle yesterday and I was skipping rocks in the water and it was flooding over the puddles in the water. And I was seeing how my spirituality was going through the puddles when the rock was skipping over it and walking and stuff and lead a conversation there. Grandma might even fuck with that. Grandma like, yeah, I see you learning now, child. You see, because Jesus did that first. Jesus walked over water before that rock skipped over there that you did. You know what I'm saying? So you know Jesus more. You know what I'm saying? That can go like one chakra out the other. And you know what I'm saying? Grandma think you on her side of your mind. You like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. The fake smile. That's all you. The whole $1 million coming to you next week. Wait till grandma check come. Get your nails, hair, and feet done. It don't go no further than that. You know what I'm saying? Real style. I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm trying to lead you to the right direction next week. You know what I'm saying? Now look, check this out, Pisces. Now, Pisces, y'all guys gonna be the example of what to do or what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Because so y'all flunked out, but you gotta be yourself. You can't turn around and listen to no astrologer, tarot card there and a crystal and gem you could pull. You could be the astrologer and tarot card. It ain't gonna work. I don't care how many cards you flip, you're gonna be confused. I don't care how much you look at the transits, you ain't gonna you're gonna have a weird fart cloud and a throat chakra blockage and a uncircumcised heart chakra or something like that. I said thanks so much for the donation, Peter. I appreciate that for the bottom heart. And a blocked root chakra, you know what I'm saying? And a blanket over your pineal gland, you know what I'm saying? Your crown chakra on somebody's toilet and being a fart cloud and piece of shit. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful doing it as a Pisces during this particular time. Make sure you're having healthy, holy spirits, you know what I'm saying? Healthy, holy energies in your mind. So you ain't too delusional, because that's where Saturn at. You may think reality and what's productible, the way you think about it, it ain't really reality. It ain't really productible. But you feel like it's your time of the year right now. You feel like it's your time to make it. You feel like I'm claiming. You probably on everybody's comments like, yeah, I'm claiming this. Oh, I'm saying claiming some energies that might not even manifest in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. Matter of fact, it ain't reality. It ain't got nothing to do with what's going on with the shadow government blocking us from doing. People who put their work. No, it ain't got nothing to do with this, because something you just fathom in your imagination. And since Saturn is in that sky, the world kind of look like it's in your energy in your favor. I'm saying, so it, like, keyword, look like it. It ain't manifest. So you as a Pisces, you might be all wet up in Saturn type stuff, like the reality, manifestation, material, and money that haven't manifested yet, but in your mind you see it and you like, I feel it coming, I feel it, I got to feel it. You feel it real good. You wash up under the current. You don't get up and do nothing about it. It ain't gonna manifest. You just feel good. There's an energy in the sky that match yours. That's it. It ain't like that means you ain't supposed to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You can see all the millions and all the new vacations in your mind all you want. You might not experience it. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually do it in Saturn and in reality and be frustrated and put in some work in reality. And, you know what I'm saying? That's it. You ain't doing that. You lost La La Land a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you can sit around and feel all good all day and be like, I'm sitting Indian style. Oh, this the time of the year. Feel like it's coming. No, this the time of the year. You extremely flunked under the current right now because Saturn is there. And then that ain't really reality. So you better get out your funk. Now, this is going to be an example of what to do or what not to do. And that's going to be an example right there what we don't need to do right there. Just already you being you 24/7 throughout since you came out your mother's lower spine colostomy bag and stuff because your mother had to have a reverse C-section. I said, real society, like all that when you came out, then you figure out all that energies now and stuff like that. Do you already like this? Wherever Saturn at, you already like that. You got to get out. You forced to get out of that and see the reality of things. And even that might not even look like reality. You got to try your best. That's all I can say for my Pisces. Try your best. Saturn ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Try your best. Then other than that, this going to be towards communicating and sharing ideas. So you're going to be the example of what we need to do or what we don't need to do if you planted bad seeds based on the reality of the matter towards communicating or sharing ideas. So there's a lot of Pisces right now that might give up all communication as a whole and come up with some godly aspect of how that makes sense and protecting themselves for the new shift to be even more behind. Lord Jesus Christ. Y'all don't know how to take no train ride except a buttercream cloud one. That's not in reality. Y'all got to start taking train rides down here with everybody else that manifested after there was a cloud already. Stop jumping in another one after that the one that everybody's supposed to be in turned into an actual physical train. You be like, oh, I don't trust this one. This ain't godly. That ain't spiritual. That's demonic. You go jump into another fart cloud train and then wait till that one to manifest as a real train we all supposed to be on and then jump out of that one. Oh, no, this ain't. Anytime something get real, here go Pisces making it another delusion. Oh, look at that. It don't go no further than that. God damn it, don't go no further than that. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. If you watch my channel, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. You can do no wrong. You can do no wrong. God wasn't in no toilets, like farting, no fart clouds and stuff when y'all was born. Especially if you on my channel, you got some Pisces, you don't try. Real stuff. You the higher octave when God was thinking real hard. You ain't the lower octave when God was on the toilet somewhere having a hard day, stressed out on welfare and stuff. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You ain't the lower octave Pisces. Going back to the seawater. Oh, sitting back on the sewer water. Flush toilet face. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? The fish went two ways because the toilet swirl. Not on its own. It'll go over. That's it. Oh, so y'all got the peep gang. Now, getting into the houses. Why did I talk this long? It's 12. But nah, I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be up all night because I got mad content I want to do for. I can't do none of that, start none of that till I finish these readings. So I gotta be up. I gotta be up because I've been knocking out readings all day. Now, look, check this out, right? Now, when it comes to the houses, this is how all this energy is gonna play out. Now, first, the aspect is based on the direction and the path. So it's all about positioning. So this is how the shadow government look at it also. So the global path is the ascendant masters, which will be the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And that three triune together is how they correlate the aspects. For the most part, they use Uranus for destruction or to see the rebellious spirits here. So they'll create a bunch of those type of movies and stuff, how we correlate it. They use Neptune of how they make the movies and produce them and what speculative, magical, spiritual narratives they put behind it. That's dealing with virtues and principles and morality. And Pluto is how they're going to transform the new way of living, what actually becomes the fixed star energy to their perspective and the Keter and how to get out of here, like George Washington concepts and stuff, right? So it's what we're transforming and figuring out ways to keep it in control and maintain the power, right? So whatever cartoons, college education, business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics is going to be under the system of whatever sign Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is in. This is why there's a such thing as generational gap. The gap is the reason your parents and you or your older siblings and you resonate or learned different things in school or had different favorite cartoons and stuff because the Masons and stuff on the watchtower running things during these particular times is filtering their creative attributes and allegories through whatever sign that Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto is in. And when you come in the world, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto be in a different sign. So the energy of the cartoons and education system is going to be predicated on yours, which create the generation gap from the generational planets that you're born in, different than your parents, and all the semblance and things of that nature. or younger siblings. So that's always going to be the main direction. So for an example, right now with Pluto, well, we're going to start with Uranus. With Uranus being in Taurus, we're forced to change. Even when it comes to the shadow government, we're all in the same boat. They're just doing it on a teamwork makes the dream work larger percentage level to get more of a loaf than you. But when you participate, this is how you understand. Even if you want to rock their things to sleep and put them in energies to convince you that you're getting rocked to sleep and you're being the more intellectual one, to the point that when it's time for you to leave this earth, they thought they was rocking you sleep, but you was rocking them to sleep, and you got everything you wanted to do, almost like you didn't got some good credit, got everything you wanted to experience, and they only get paid after you die. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you enjoyed yourself, and you ain't worried about having to pay anything because of the way you set it up. So you rock the world to sleep, their system to sleep. If you somewhere trying to do that, and you get good credit, and you trying to be a good citizen, you gonna die stressed out with regrets that ain't even mean nothing. You gonna die can't smile because on your mind you gonna be like, oh, I ain't pay that bill. Oh, the government about to get me. Oh, you get ready to reincarnate back here like some Wolfman and Hart angel type stuff, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and still have to continue your duties and obligation even when you're non-corporeal. So when you get born again, you're gonna have the same ideas to work for the shadow government. You know what I'm saying? In that same type of way. But if you put yourself in a situation where you're rocking them to sleep, having them thinking that they're rocking you to sleep by you being a good puppet, but you're doing it ain't what you do, is how you do it, it'd be a situation where even if you died natural causes, that's the only way they're going to get paid. But because you set yourself up and did certain things where you was playing around with them good enough that you was able to reach a good enough credit to buy larger portion of things that take large portions of time to pay off, but you was able to be in a position that the bank trusts you to get it because of the little stuff you was doing to rock them to sleep to make them think you was a good puppet. Because I had to do that because the females taking too damn long. So I got my credit good, but it got me learning more of the shadow government and their little game, and even how they use females and stuff. So they'd be like, "Oh, is this a game for real?" And it ain't even hard. You could do it with little stupid stuff, but it ain't even hard. It just take patience. And you put in a good 6 months. You put in a good 9 months. You put in a good 18 months. You know what I'm saying? You put in a good 24 months. And that'll go in no time. Instead of sitting down between time, experiencing, frustrating yourself and worrying about this. And then when that 18 months actually come, you could have had that discipline that whole time, but you didn't brought all the baggage of between time at the time of 18 months, and 18 months don't even seem like you was doing anything because everything in between time was going towards other things, so you're in the same position 18 months later. You ain't had no own deadline about yourself, no own limit about yourself, no own I'm broke baby energy about yourself, where you're not broke as someone else, but that's your version of broke, so you can stay accumulating. You know what I'm saying? None of y'all have discipline. That's why y'all stay on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for everything, not just money. You know what I'm saying? For an example, I could stop YouTube right now and stuff like that. How I set my way up of discipline don't allow me to fall off. You see what I'm saying? Y'all have to build that type of discipline and stuff like that, to the point that, let's say you became a president or something like that and got riches, $1 million, but you something happened to you health wise, or accident on the job where you hurt your back, or haters took your stuff away from you, right? Is you in a situation that you can get it all over again, even if that's blockages in that area? You know what I'm saying? To the point that you substantiated yourself, and the only way you're able to do that is if, let's say, you're trying to get to $1 million. Eventually, you have to make a new limit of broke. So when one person broke maybe $10, your broke is 100,000. So when you go beneath that, you need to be in the same mind frame of a person who just got $10 on 2 nickels or nothing at all. Therefore, when you reach that million status, the other person that reached that million status ain't in a better position than you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, not only have you obtained more, if you was to lose it all, it actually becomes your supporting system too. Where the person who got the $1 million, that was needed. So if they was to lose their job or their position or their celebrity, they gonna fall off because they didn't do it right. You can look at this example I'm talking about through the lens of celebrities. A lot of y'all are in the same situation as celebrities. They just got more than you. But if your bills is $500 a month, their bills is $500,000 a month. See, they're on that energy then. So the person who bills will still be $500 a month, and still get 500,000 will be in a situation of a celebrity who get 500,000, but they bills is 500,000 too. So when both people be in a position to lose their job, on examples of ways how a person can lose their job, whether they get hurt or somebody hate on them, the person who did it the right way and set up all those limits is in a better position than a person who lose that job and they can't figure out how they're going to pay their bills next week. Now they're going to have to start going through what they call that when a person bankruptcy. They're gonna have to start doing things like bankruptcy, all kind of other type of circumstances and stuff like that. And all that ain't even gonna work and stuff like that because they're disciplined not right. They didn't have that limit. They were still thinking their broke limit is a person who ain't got 2 nickels. And they got wet off the energy of that operational variable. Oh, I'm independent on something that's secretly dependent on the government, and anytime they choose to take it away from me, I'm gonna have to depend on them in some way, shape, or form. So you got wet on thinking that job is always gonna be there, regardless of if your health could go wrong, a situation could go wrong, or someone could take your position could go wrong. So you working for your bills. You're not working for a gift or talent that even if you had that attribute in the first place, like that job, you didn't do it for God. You wasn't taking these things to do it for other things. So when that disappear, that can take you up out of that situation that you don't even care and feel no way about it leaving. See what I'm saying? Real deep spiritual game. Always invest in yourself in ways that you can see as a potential that can take you out of something you don't like to do every day. And if it's something you don't like to do every day that got benefits in it, make sure those benefits go towards things that can take you out of that situation. And here's the thing. We don't always have a purpose at hand, at jump. God don't care about that. God care about is you trying, is you at least trying. So you'll fail a couple times and even think that you made a mistake putting that in that area or this thing or this violin, going back to that example for yourself. But you need to not think about it that way because that's what God wants you to see. So you have that mind of an investor, a business woman or man that you're willing to sacrifice for the sake of other things that's beyond measures and physical. God like when people participate in its realm like that. So God bring all kind of physical representations in your life to give you confirmations to keep going. And the more you go in that spiritual life, the more God give you confirmations physically so you can be better and value yourself more because you are in a better position that God needs you in. So you don't have to look back at things that you don't necessarily need to participate in anymore. So when it comes into the houses right now, right? The main objective is going to be wherever you got Pisces at. And you're going to have to go through frustrations and learning processes of knowing how to add whatever house you got Gemini in to make that come true. And the more you dive into your own ego, refuse to do it, and not even be aware if that's what's going on, the more you plant bad seeds, and you're gonna have to play catch up with your you're gonna have to play catch up with Uranus. And I mean Saturn and things of that nature. And you don't want to play catch up with Saturn right now, because playing catch up with Saturn will manifest as tower moments as you being homeless, you not being able to take care of yourself material, maternal wise, and your status and your reputation and your face card being seen as extremely negative, regardless of how much energy you're showing to come across as a changed individual. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be careful that you're not playing catch up right now with Saturn. And Pisces will put us in a delusion because Saturn is there. I'm not saying Pisces sign, I'm talking about the energy. That us trying to think our creativity, our fantasy, our manifestation, even to our religion too, or some of y'all, us thinking that that's going to make us our money, our material, or our status can have us in a straitjacket delusion. We need to become very creative on something that's realistic, even if we have to pull these things like religion or spirituality or creativity or emotions. We have to force it to look more realistic. And that's the only way we're going to make it create some type of material, maternal productivity in our lives to be able to make money and secure ourselves as far as shelter or security or support for one another. You know what I'm saying? So right now, we can become very faulty right now into this delusion, understanding our reality of things, trying to make us manifest our reality based upon things that's not in reality due to the fact of Saturn being in Pisces. So the house you have Pisces in order for you to know if you're in something creative or delusion, you need to utilize things that may frustrate you at the moment But you have to learn these lessons, aka the 90-degree angle where the sun is at, Gemini. So let's start with Pisces first house. But let me break down the general narrative, right? The direction and the paths that you're going in, you're going to have to utilize some form of communication or sharing ideas with the people, places, and things in the area of life, aka the house you have Gemini in, even if it's frustrating ones, and take that ability and use it like a house lord, like an alchemist in this aspect. Throw it in the house that Pisces is in. And the more you do that, even if the degrees of Gemini or Pisces and Saturn and the sun haven't reached the degrees of your Gemini or Pisces house, that makes it better. You're preparing yourself and using that energy to rectify any bad seeds that you're doing currently. So that makes it even better. You're preparing yourself and acting in the energy. So when it get there, it's almost like the leprechaun going at the end of the rainbow and getting some gold it didn't even know or expect was going to be there, based upon you cleaning up things you ain't even have to clean up, but you're making things look more perfected. That's how you prepare yourself when there's planets in the sign of your houses as a transit, but the degree haven't reached the actual house yet. So it's still in a previous house. So you're doing what you're doing now when it goes into that house and the house is in currently. And so you're doing magnificent energy. The joining of two energies always makes a beautiful energy if you're doing it in the right way. So you're taking the energies as if it would be in that house, but since it didn't reach a degree yet, it's still in that current house, the previous house that's not that sign. But since the currents in the sky is in that sign, you blend those energies with the house that they're still in at the moment. That by default prepares you for the next house and make you do some magical stuff with the stuff you're already doing. And it speeds up processes if you planted bad seeds that you have to take care of. Whether the events and experiences play out as a negative or bridge burning or not. It speed up the process of you being in a position that's needed for God to fulfill it with people, places, and things that needs to be there. So that's even better right now. And then for the most part, this communication and this whatever frustration that you have to utilize based upon a 3 of Swords energy. We're experiencing a 3 of Swords energy right now. 3, Gemini, 3rd house, Swords, air. So this ain't even negative. So even if you got enemies or something like that, the communication won't lead into actual warfare. It will actually lead to calm in waters, especially if you're utilizing it right now because we have the moon in Libra. When the moon going to Scorpio, you will be able to do this behind closed doors in a more in-depth way, where even if there was an enemy, you're able to communicate and become to a bygones let bygones. You go your way, I go my way. Or even if it's any kind of connection, it's able to be resolved based upon, what's that word, reciprocity or reciprocation, and what's the other one? Not the, because the heart's going to be open, the heart chakra going to be opened up, but damn, what's the deep connection word I'm looking for? When you reconnect, reconciliation. All those redoing hellistic routine pattern put you back in the hell energies. Retrograde. But it could be for a good cause if it's unfinished business and things of that nature, because there's always teamwork makes the dream work. But at the same time, there's a lot of that energy going on also. It kind of made me lose my point. But at the same time, like I said, whatever house you got Pisces in. Oh yeah, okay, that was my point. So you got to learn how to take some communication or analyze it in order to rectify something in the Pisces house, so you can know if you're in a delusion or not, or it's something creative that can make the reality of that creativity for Pisces to become a real reality or productible one that can manifest as material, maternal, or status, or organization, or structure, or stability, or shelter. Not one that don't produce no stability, money, or security, and you have to realize it's a delusion too late, based on you not communicating or sharing your ideas or externalizing yourself with the world and Gemini and the sun. So this is how you're discovering how you're going to make $1 million right now. Not being scared to talk. A lot of us, especially if you're an introvert, Saturn and Pisces getting help with Neptune there right now is putting you in an energy where a lot of things the shadow government is creating is more convenience, whereas you think the world is in your favor right now. So you think the world is better off with you. But that manifests as even small percentage levels of lacking communication, because an introvert has so much devices that they don't have to communicate with anyone. And these devices is showing them promise of convenience and even be able to make money the way these people be talking online nowadays when they got a large energy of forcing everybody to be just like them when it comes to isolation and being on their own. It's okay to do that if you're teaching it to perfect yourself, to present yourself to the world as you need to be needed, just like how everybody in the world's supposed to be. Or you wouldn't be going to try to read a book that's made by someone else to figure out why you so flown. But once we learn how to talk, we're going to create events because that's like God talking. And you're going to manifest events to be a confirmation if you're in a delusion or creativity, so you can have Saturn and Pisces and Neptune turn that creative attribute or what needs to be adjusted if you realize it was a delusion into something material, maternal. You cannot do it without communicating in a mutable way, though. Period. And the Saturn and Pisces energy getting help with Neptune sometimes might put us in situations where we feel like we don't have to, based upon the monetary gain conveniences we have at the moment, that weeks and months down the line, it'll manifest as a tower moment or blood on our hands or planting bad seeds where we missed the shift and we look back and be like, oh, I bullcrapped again. And a lot of y'all don't be having inspiration. Men need females and females need men and females as long as they know how to create some type of energy about themselves or some type of community to be a part of. In a female's mind, it don't matter if it's a male or a female. In a male mind, they only care about the female and stuff like that. Then the men, he hope he can chop it up with enough men or have enough men, and then we all be at the table. So whether each one teach one man got to teach another man, whatever, we just got to get out of an ego. And that's the little men between our challenge. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's get into these houses real quick. So, for the most part, utilizing Gemini, regardless if you got in your chart Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, gotta get with the program. This allows you to utilize the Gemini, and if the Geminis, y'all gotta be yourselves. But if you got the negative spirit utilizing this chakra, your spaceship being inside of it as a spirit, a soul, flying it in wrong directions, being an example of crashing for us, then for the most part, you need to know what to adjust at this time. You just the example. You're not going to have no way of already knowing what to do before you participate with it, just because the energy in your favor. You are the energy, so you're going to be an example. And based upon your spirit, life will show you and us what side you on, to know what to adjust or to know where to keep going, because God said thumbs up. Now, for the most part, here's the thing. So the direction and the path is going to be the Pisces house, but you're going to have to do it in a more sophisticated way. Talking, communicating, even if you're not sufficient and you're an introvert. This trains you. The rejection, the opposition, the fear that you have, but just doing it, right? Those experiences manifest energy, and it trains you to have a better way in adjusting yourself, and you get confirmation of knowing if you're in a delusion or not. And that all works for the benefit of God needed you to release all that, whether you know that was a releasing or not. That's what God, how God see it, and therefore you're light enough as a load to go into new experiences, not stay in a routine and pattern, the load you're holding in on. That you ain't know is a load until Uriel broke it down and let you know that's how God see it. So I'm God's child. I'm telling you, that's y'all mistake, or I wouldn't be here. Okay, now, say you got Pisces in the first house. You're Pisces ascendant. You're going to have to utilize something that deals with home, family, domestic issues, privacy, obtain new ways of privacy, new comfort zones, and all of this is going to have to be filtered through communicating. So you may even have to do negative fire against fire communication with a flaming sword air, put fire to it or something like that. Due to the fact of your space may be getting smothered, and a person may need to know how much you care about something for them to protect you, to respect your space, even if they're sharing it at the moment. And they need to shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the middle of doing something that's more important than whatever you convinced them was on they flunked out mind that once upon a time yesterday, they thought it was more important when they come around you. And you showed them it wasn't. And you know, what you manifest from it is confirmation that whatever on it. And if they're a real friend, they'll keep coming around and come up with ways of how they can help you. Because in their mind, they know they flown. And if you got somebody who in their ego, like I'm speaking right about as far as how the men look at men, but it could be male or female, and that friend come over in their ego, they'll find some way to still make it seem like their fart cloud thought and feeling that we can't do nothing with is more important than using the thoughts and feelings for our actions to participate with a teamwork makes the dream work. And the moment you don't participate with something that if you take your time and be distracted on what they're doing, you go more on producing what they're producing in their life, and you was producing more, then for the most part, you allowing this person to take authority over you. And that's an egotistic person. That ain't really your friend. That's someone who's using you to feel good about themselves when they ain't around you, to feel like they're still somebody. You know what I'm saying? And they got somebody like you in their life to feel that way. You need to go ahead and cut ties real fast. Because this person don't even care about actuality. They get wet off weird attention that you ain't even know what's forms of attention getting. And they just be wet off fulfilling all these things inside of them. No one know but them. And this person in your mind should just become a person that you can see as a person who just wasting your time or something like that. Or something you distracted with or something like that at the moment. Real stuff. Like, y'all got to start peeping game. You ain't got to totally cut ties with people. It's about cutting the energy. And depending on if they're in their ego or a real friend or not, they'll separate themselves. And it won't be a bridge burner situation either. Every time y'all see yourselves, y'all act like y'all never separated. But yet, y'all don't got no time to share with each other either. But it won't be really no hard feelings because y'all be fulfilling it with other people that's supposed to be there. So that's how relationships supposed to end if they're going to end. And that time a person come as a season. When you be forcing too much stuff, bridge burner situations happen off y'all hands, not God hands. That's almost like a person killing themselves and not letting nature do it or accident do it, because your mind's supposed to do it first, then your body. Not you getting lost into the world first, being of the world, so you allow your body to do everything that's on your mind first. No, you allow your mind to accumulate and let the body experience. You don't try to control it with your body because you're seeing it in your mind. And a lot of times, what you be expecting, it don't even be that outcome. So a lot of y'all stop yourselves from doing stuff thinking you too smart for your own good and block experiences. It like spirit, it get deep spiritually. Dang, we 2 hours in. I'm sorry. All right, I finish these readings. All right, let's check this out. Also, if you got Pisces, let me run through this. If you got Pisces in the first house, you got to take something and communicate with something that's dealing with home, family, domestic issues, or something like that, or with family, and rectify something there and clear that frustration up. And all these blockages and delusions that you're in will be confirmed that you're in these things, so you could transmute it into some type of creative Pisces thing to make you material or money to secure your personal life, interest, and get rid of insecurities. First, that's for all right. That's Pisces first house. Pisces second house. You got to use something in your fifth house. Something you express yourself, something you're entertained by, something that allows you to have fun and enjoy yourself. And start talking these things. You might not be talking enough for people to know what you're entertained by, or you might not be entertaining enough because you don't talk. So you're not manifesting the things you're creatively into. And so you're not manifesting fun and enjoyment in your life. So for the most part, you need to start expressing and communicating these things into the area of life of the people, places, and things that you value, where you plant seeds at, your gifts and talents, and the things that help you build your self-esteem, which is all of those things. And once you start talking more creatively, gifted, more lighter about fun and enjoyment towards the people, places, and things that you value, if it's a frustration, blockage, or whatever, you're going to experience blockages being lifted up, and you could become a millionaire through the things that you value and plant seeds in with Pisces in the second house, as long as that fifth house is being used for it. Pisces in the third house, right? Now, for the most part, you're going to have to utilize something in the sixth house. Something that's dealing with work, health, routine, scheduling, things you do on a day-to-day basis. Something that you're working on if it ain't an actual job. So it's something you pulled out of the fifth house or the seventh house relationship. And work on these things and correlate these things in some way, shape, or form. Now, here's the thing: with Pisces in the sixth house, with Pisces in the third house, the more you communicate what you're responsible for, or what you're working on in your surroundings, in your environment, towards your friends, you will be able to have confirmation if you're in a delusion, or you could utilize it for creativity as far as in your environment, because you will see reactions and responses from your friends or people you're familiar with, and you'll be see if they're willing to stay on task as much as you towards a goal, or if they got something that you could rub shoulders with them and stay on task and support them. And if you don't see that there, then that's when you're going to be able to see why your dreams ain't manifesting in that third house. So for the most part, start talking about and opening your mouth and communicating, Gemini in the sixth house, about your routines and patterns and what you like to do, even if it seems like you're throwing in your 2 cents and stressing about things. And if you got people getting frustrated around that in your third house, people you around, your friend circle, you don't need to be around them anyway, because they ain't stressing about something that you could be productive about that could manifest as teamwork, mental dream work. So separate as fast as possible, no matter how much of your heart is going to be hurt. Fourth house. Let's say you got Pisces in the fourth house, right? Now, you're gonna have to utilize something in the seventh house. communication, thinking, or analyzing, or relating yourself in a better way, right? And start to utilize it more in private. So you can gain emotional comfortability, security with someone you're close to, home or family in some degree, right? And therefore, it's going to unload blockages in that area. So you'll be able to be in a position where you could be useful for yourself in a home, or be able to get a new home, buy a new home, or have a family, or be able to start one, or a business, a family business, a circumstance or a situation, or a level of connection or deepness, vulnerability, or a sense of privacy in God's way, not no isolated way. Privacy when it's needed because you're getting supported, but you need to be alone because whatever you're getting supported, you need that time alone for it to be perfected. So you're still participating in the world or something like that. Whether you have a some obligation or something like that, a contract or a gift or talent or a group of individuals or a relationship. But for the most part, the more you take how you relate or your relationships and communicate with your relationships or your networking or network more and communicate, you're going to experience this. You're going to experience blockages when it comes to home, family, domestic issues and stuff like that, right? And be able to make money in that area or a private business in some way. Let's say you got Pisces in the fifth house, right? Now, in the fifth house, you're going to have to utilize some deep desire, passion, motivation, some vulnerability, some sexual energy, whether it's physically or you're connecting with other people behind closed doors to manifest a goal outside of doors externally. Now, but you're around people you can feel vulnerable with. So that's genuine connections always speed up processes of manifestation. Now, you're going to have to take that and talk. So you make sure you ain't around no disingenuous people and you getting rocked to sleep because you're not seeing the full perspective because you're in the dark about something. So something needs to be brought to the surface based upon communicating, talking, Gemini. And you'll bring things to the surface, realize if you're getting cheated on, rocked to sleep, if you're participating with the right desires, passions, and group of people for that, right vulnerability, sexual partners. And therefore, you once you do that energy, you will be able to experience blockages being lifted up when it comes into your creativity, fun and enjoyment, the way of expressing yourself, and the things you entertain, aka Pisces in the fifth house. I mean, not Pisces, yeah, Pisces in the fifth house. Now, let's say you got Pisces in the sixth house, which is opposite. You got to utilize the ninth house, right? Communicate and start to talk when it comes to traveling, add meanings and reasonings and wisdom and knowledge and broad philosophical points of views of looking at the world, spirituality and God and changing your morality and stuff like that. You got to start talking, communicating more and start to see if your morality and your education is actually real. Is you around the right individuals? You got the right morality? Is you going about things the right way? And this communication with hold on for the oh yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, this communication and stuff like that will allow you to experience blockages lifted when it comes into your work or whatever you're working on, or being able to have somebody manifesting in your life to take some of the load with reciprocation when it comes to your responsibilities and stuff like that. Not someone constantly putting you in a position, because all zodiac signs deal with this, where you'll have a person who have a load and you'll have interest or something like that, or a family, right, using you and how you obtain your load to make sure to as a way to make them feel comfortable with helping you or not. Well, really, that's not a relationship, that's not a networking, that's not a communion, that's not genuine. You need to be manifesting individuals that in the same area, so you feel like you're getting helped with a load. Your load is not being used as a reference of attracting. You're attracting individuals that want to help you with a load, and and they have a load you can help them with. So for the most part, that's reciprocation. So you're going to be in that kind of energy where you're trying to decipher between relationships right now, who's doing that and who's not doing that. And therefore, when it comes into the sixth house, you're gonna make sure that all that communicating and being able to travel and stuff like that, or being able to open your mind, if it ain't got nothing to do with traveling, is going to help you experience blockages being lifted up when it comes to new things to work on to make more money and become a millionaire. Let's say if you got Pisces in the seventh house, you're gonna have to utilize something that's dealing with your status, what you're known for, how you're seen, and what ultimately can become your career, your popularity level and stuff. Hopefully it's not a straitjacket at the moment, right? Because for the most part, you're going to have to communicate, talk more about your status, so you can have confirmation if that's your status and people see you like that or not. Communicate, talk, and start to see these things, whether rejection or not. So for the most part, because all these things are going to allow you to go through events and circumstances to adjust yourself to have a better status to align, um, and you will start to experience blockages being lifted up, so you can experience better relationships or networking when it comes to even business and stuff like that. That got something to do with creativity, dreams, and imagination for Saturn and Pisces to be able to take off, and you don't experience blockages in this exalted position. Thank you so much for the donation, Andrew Douglas. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Now let's say you got Pisces in the 8th house. You're going to have to utilize the 11th house, your associations, who you are associated with, how you conduct yourself in the public arena. Hopefully you associated with people who are like you. Whether you have to communicate, talk, rectify anything, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all share kids with individuals and things of that nature, and this is one of the reasons you may be experiencing blockages because of y'all relationship. You need to make sure you ain't got to get back with an individual, but you got to make sure it's at a situation where there ain't no bad blood anytime it's something that's dealing with the kids involved and stuff like that. So it ain't no weird fart cloud when y'all have to come together and things that don't deal with relationship and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it might, and if that's not, for an example, you could be a female or a male and have certain control or spiteful energy. So when one or the other have the kid, they say certain things or be in certain energies. That'll play out in certain areas that ain't got nothing to do with the kid or that relationship. And just by that type of spirit you in, you'll manifest certain blockages in other areas of your life because the characteristics you have and your way of expressing yourself, you got a baggage that you're unaware of, but it might be a situation you're trying to get in, and the gatekeepers and the people who could put you in position in those areas might smell that off of you. Because every time we're carrying an aura, it's like esoteric baggage to a certain degree, if it's not a good one. So it might be their policies of the gatekeeper might tingle, and they might can't pinpoint what's the actual issue, but depending on everything that they're aware of, they're justified as that. And that they're aware of a whole bunch of negative things based upon their upbringing. They're size it up as they don't care what energy actually you're going through. They don't like you at all, but what you're carrying. And a lot of times it be negative energies you be carrying as a spirit that will block you in other areas that ain't got nothing to do with that. So don't be ill-hearted. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all may hear me say I got full custody of my daughter, but I made that a fact to never even say anything or ever, or in always in all the way down to the relationship that if my daughter need to see her mother, I let my mother handle that between them. You don't even need my number or anything. All the way down to I don't want no influence on the outcome of how my daughter think about anything. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, however my daughter think, I have no blood on my hands. So if it go in my favor or don't, but really not my baby mother, whether it goes in her favor or not, and she got some hell to pay or not, that was that duty and obligation that I ain't had nothing to do with and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So that's like let the Lord be with you, and whoever had to reap what they sow, that's what they reap what they sow. So you know what I'm saying? It ain't my decision, it ain't my choice, and it ain't in on nothing. I ain't stopping nothing. It's other individuals' issue about something that they don't never want to do nobody's hair, never want to necessarily actually get invested or anything of that nature, to the point that the child don't care that much to even have that thought. So for the most part, that ain't got something I ain't got nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of y'all, so I don't have that energy, which is why I'm Doelowdapilotman right now. God would have had many other blockages for me. I have sustainable security, mothering energy. Me personally, because I'm the divine masculine, divine feminine. So you could be a judge and see the situation for what it is and automatically be like, hey, Uriel, you win. So let me not go into details and stuff like that. So I don't want y'all to think I'm the type of individual. Either when I say these things, you know, a lot of females will come up in their own mind and be like, well, he probably going through issues. And they would do, no, you need to know I'm Uriel. I don't have issues like humans. Everything's smooth selling. All parties agree. And it's actually a justified reason for it. Ain't no toxic nothing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all need to get that clear. So y'all, if a lot of y'all probably coming up in y'all mind, like I have interactions like y'all have with y'all baby mothers or baby father. No, I don't even have no even contact with my baby mother, nor is there have been an issue for it to be like that. You see what I'm saying? It's about nothing. I'm Uriel, period. I don't have situations like that. The God come in my life where I'm just a man. That's it. But other than that, and this is how it goes. It's my way or the highway, and my way ain't even no highway of ego. My way is like the way that even the people who think like that wouldn't look at it the highway like it's my highway. They look at it like, oh, it's the highway. They don't even look at it no other way. It's like all humans is just children, like for real. You know what I'm saying? But that's another video. Like it ain't no video at all. I think I took too long saying that part. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like I said, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. But like I said, I don't got no ill hearts, nobody. I don't got no reason to. God bless me too much. And I'll never be less. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. Now look, check this out. Now if you got if you got Pisces and if you got Pisces in the 8th house, right? You got to make sure that you take your associations which you are associated with, rectify these things by talking, and you'll unblock anything that didn't even appear to be a block, but you still experience limitations and stuff. You just can't see where they're coming from because it's like 8th house type stuff. So it's important for a person with Pisces in 8th house to be aware of things that's not physical, but mental forms and morals that they have, because those are the first things that's going to manifest physically. And if you're not aware of these things and do enough shadow work and self-interpretation and evaluation, you'll be playing out energies trying to protect something that's being manifested as a blockage from just a mental form that you in. But it might be presenting itself like it's an actual event you're going through in life via person, place, or thing. And it might just be purely on the basis of you manifested that based upon you went down that line of reason and a train of thought to produce that event, to be around that circumstance because of your mind state before you even experience the circumstance. So you have to make sure you check all the super shadow work with Pisces in the 8th house. And therefore, you have to utilize your associations, communicate. That's why y'all seeing me being so social now and utilizing all my social medias that I'm about to be tomorrow and the rest of the week and the rest of the month. And I ain't going to stop either. I'm not using it just for the sake of the energies. But I have to do this so I could not find, but you know what I'm saying, be in a position that God need me to be in and things of that nature. So for the most part, and even help people the way I need to help, the way I can help them. So that put me in a situation, and everybody with this energy, right? With Gemini in the 11th house, you got to communicate with your associations, which you are associated with. Know where you're lost in a confusion or delusion. Know what's creative. Come to that decision. You know what I'm saying? Once you do all the communicating with your associations and what you are associated with and public persona and stuff, and then your 8th house is going to be unblocked when it comes to sexual partners or sex or joining of two energies or your deep desires, motivations, passions, and all those deep internal blockages being unblocked. So you also got to change the way you go for your desires, your actions to a certain degree. This is a Mars house. So you got to change the way you go for your desires also. Your passions. You got to transform yourself from ashes to ashes, from dust to rise again as a phoenix and kill that old ego. Now, let's say you got Pisces in the 10th house, right? Then for the most part, you got to utilize something that's dealing with your personal life, personal issues, personal affairs, personal insecurities, somebody in your personal life, some object, something, and communicate, analyze, deal with this object, see if it got you in a delusion and distracting your time, or it's something that's beneficial, or something you got to get away from, or a person, place, or thing. Communicate, talk, open your mouth, express, right? Now, that's going to create you to get rid of blockages when it comes into your career, status, business, opportunities, and stuff like that, because you're no longer in one mind frame that leads you away from these things. Based upon you communicating your insecurities or your interests now and opening your mouth regardless of what you think you're expecting, and allow God to make that Pisces and 10th house in your status flourish and creativity to become something that you can make money or a business or career off of. Let's say you got Pisces in the 11th house. You got to utilize a person, place, or thing that you value or you plant seeds in, or something that help you build your self-esteem, even if it's just meditating, and go hard on it because it's second house, and start to talk. Try to get other people mutable to do these things that you value, or only value others that's into these things, that plant seeds in areas that develop as stuff that help you build your self-esteem, not lower it. Things that help you build your self-esteem. You could develop gifts and talents and abilities being in these spaces, especially being around others. And if you got Gemini here, you got to talk. And if you ain't got people that you value that's into these things, you got to start thinking, analyzing, sharing ideas, or having these things to yourself, these talks to yourself, that maybe you need to reevaluate how much you value that specific person, place, or thing. So you can start valuing more people or other people, places, and things to communicate with that's more in that favor, right? And for the most part, that when you use the 11th house, your associations and stuff like that, as far as Pisces be there, but you communicate with different values and stuff like that, you end up creating blockages and loads and throwing them away and having better representations and associations and things to be associated with in public gains and being able to receive from the public in a lot more sufficient area. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind also. Once you start to value the right things and communicate with these people, you start to be associated with the right things. And all those blockages and weird associations you was with previously is no longer there. Or that you'll start to see them separate, or at least have that potential where you start to see your life lightening up and you start to see the little things you have to do as not so scary anymore. You got the courage to do it because you got some support that you can look at as a potential to do it. Now, if you got Pisces in a 12th house, right? You're going to have to utilize something in your environment. You know, something you're familiar with, whether if it's a friend or not. You might be on a computer or online. You might be familiar with people online, whether they're in your geographical location or not. You might be able to do something online that you're familiar with other people that can participate in some type of way, right? That adds on to creating blockages to be thrown away into your 12th house. Thank you so much for the donation, Blue Zizzle. So for the most part, you need to start talking, opening your mouth in your environment, your surroundings, and your Aries ascendant. So you start talking, open up your mouth in your surroundings, your environment, right? Communicate. See if you're around the right friends that's into the same things you're into and stuff like that. Therefore, even if you're flunked out, you'll be able to know that ahead of time before you plant too many bad seeds and you're playing catch up. So God could put you in that space right now with the right people, places, and things, or what's the other word again? Conciliation, if that's needed, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So you could be like Jim Jones in French Montana or something like that. You see all the blessings Jim Jones getting now in French, like they might not understand that, but they health up. They look in shape now, and when they was beefing, they was looking flabby and stick. Not technically, but y'all know what I'm talking about. They almost had the grandpa waistline and stuff like that. They squash their beef. They look like they eat good now. They both got the Meek Mill skinny face now and stuff like that. Shout out to Jim Jones and French Montana. But at the same time, I'm from the hood. I look at everything, so I know a lot of y'all probably don't even know who I'm even talking about. But at the same time, this is how I just look at things. How I'm able to make sense of things in my mind, for me to break it down for everybody. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? In the 12th house, you got to start communicating and stuff like, somebody said I forgot the 9th house. I did? Okay, I'll go back. But I don't think I did. But I'll go back to the 9th house. But I think I made a relations with the 9th. But all right, but the 12th house, right? The more you communicate with your surroundings and start to talk, you will see if friends or family or people you're familiar with or your environment or your gadgets is putting you in a delusion, distraction, or it's giving you abilities and creativity. And you'll be able to use that dream or get out of it if it's a negative one and be able to put yourself into a space so you can experience blockages when it comes to your dreams and imagination, because your environment, or you have put yourself in an environment amongst people that can support it now, or you can support theirs. So you could be in a position. And then 9th house, right? 9th house, if you got Pisces in the 9th house, right? You got to utilize something when it comes to communicating. I did skip this because I don't remember saying this, because I know I don't even have to remember doing something, but my knowledge is so rooted, I know I would say the same thing. So for the most part, so I know, I didn't do this. So yeah, you got to communicate, start talking your dreams, imagination, your fantasy, so you can know you in a straight jacket. Because a lot of y'all automatically in a straight jacket. Because Gemini don't like to be in a 12th house. Mercury don't either. But that's a Gemini, that's a Mercury ruling sign. So you overthink about things you don't necessarily need to overthink about. And a lot of the themes that go on in your life is not thinking so hard before doing something. And that's when more positive situations play out in your life than negative. And there's always a yin and yang, but more on a percentage scale, positive. And that's one of the themes in your life that you probably already seen a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? I just probably just confirmed that to you, because this is your alignment on a 24/7 basis. But based upon these transits right now, right? 9th house, right? What Pisces being there, you're going to have to utilize Gemini in the 12th house, communicating and talking more about your dreams and stuff like that, so you can know that it's just faith-based or not and stuff like that. And you're going to experience blockages when it comes to your ability to travel or change your morality, because the morality you had, it ain't had nothing to do with you manifesting or not manifesting, and while other people are or not and in better positions. So you're able to switch that so you can get in a position to speed up the process for things could go better for you, and you got out of that old mind state, that old spaceship, that old morality complex concept. And then once you start to communicate with enough people, your faith-based scenarios, your dreams, your imagination, your Gemini 12th house type stuff, you're able to go through enough experiences, rejection or positive situations, to be able to adjust and be able to go about something that by default end up playing as an outcome of you not experiencing any blockages no more in the ninth house when it comes to you wanting to travel internally or externally, aka have a better mind without no previous thought form trapping you, make you feel guilty if you don't continue to think like that, or actually physically travel and things of that nature, and develop wisdom and knowledge and meanings and new experiences in your life amongst new individuals, so you can develop a more expansive life better to what God wants you to see. Whoo! And I love all y'all from goddamn bottom of my heart. But shit, I can't take too much breathers. I gotta get back to work. So I'm about to just take a 10 or 20 minute breather real quick. That means listen to about 4 or 5 of my favorite songs real quick. Probably just one of them songs real quick. You know what I'm saying? Check a few more emails and messages real quick. Get right back to work and things of that nature, because I got a deadline. I really want to go to sleep before 3 or at least 4 and things of that nature. So any finishing in the morning and verses and stuff, I could do first thing in the morning, so I could go straight to the consultations, and then that little 3-4 hour little box I do all the consultations in real quick. Boom, I can get back on my regular schedule, going live and talk a lot of shit on a lot of stuff on the Ratchet channel. I'm saying, because I got a lot of stuff to release now, and I can't, or I wouldn't have went 2 hours and 24 minutes. Let me shut up. I'll be going. Let me stop. Shut me quiet, Uriel. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all keep y'all spirits protected, and this one was for all y'all. Let me get back for personal, and I need energy straight for them. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. And an assistant, and go no further than that.